All right, we are recording. Let me pull up my notes.
Welcome.
No, I've told you like 3-4 times now that we don't do that. We don't do that intro anymore.
It is not done.
It is not done. That's the
Look, we don't do that here.
This is a cock-a-doodle-dee Dominion.
No, shush, Rev.
And I am
You're
your
done.
host.
You're Rev. Don't make me mute you. All right, my friends. Welcome and welcome back to the Krieg Dominion. I'm Omar Krieg, your Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and your host for tonight's event, Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader Tithes of Acheron. This is episode 9 of Segmentum First, Into the Maw. And with me are, of course, my wonderful Grimdark players, Rodance, Alturios, Warner, Darius, and Rev the Rizzler. Let's take a moment to briefly check in with the players, and then we can get started with where we left off at from last week. And Rev, you're the first person on my screen. Why don't you tell us what's new and exciting for you over the last week, besides your GAT levels of Riz?
Well, why is one of our characters upside down? Anyway,
I don't know. You guys do all kinds of crap to my table.
but
I'm not looking.
I've started going back to the gym, so tomorrow's going to be fun when I have to get up at 4:30 after this midnight fiasco.
Good luck. That's all I can say.
That sounds like a problem for tomorrow, Rev.
Yes, future Rev will have to deal with that.
But I'm surprised with where I was able to get on my upper body cardio. I'm already hitting 30 minutes on that before I go switch over to a recumbent bike that doesn't kill my already destroyed ankles.
Well, you know what they say. Little steps are still progress. Or something. Darius, let's move to you. What's new and exciting for you, my friend?
I wouldn't say new and exciting, but new and more like worrisome.
Okay.
Oh.
I have some friends in North Carolina that I haven't been able to get in touch with.
Yes. I'm assuming from Hurricane Helene or whatever her name is.
Yep.
That's not a good sign.
No, her phone is off.
Well, with any luck, it will pop back up on the radar in a few days, and everything will be fine.
Yep. Other than that, it's mostly the same old, same old. Lots of gaming, lots of reading, lots of anime.
There you go. Alturios?
Anime is going into a new season.
It is that time of year for a lot of shows in mainstream television broadcasts. I don't know how it works for, like, the anime crowd, for lack of a better thing to call it.
Crunchyroll does do the seasonal rotation.
Okay. All right. I'm not 100% sure what exactly that means, but that's okay. I'm not into anime. I've said that before.
They have a fall season. They have a winter season.
Okay.
They have a summer season and a spring season.
Gotcha.
And each season is about 12 weeks long.
All right. Right on. Alturios, let's check in with you. Our resident Mechanicus player.
Mm-hmm.
What's new and exciting for you? Now, you actually were really close yourself to some of this, let's just say, obscene weather.
Yeah, most of it passed us. Not a big deal.
Okay,
it decided to dump all its rain inland, so.
I did hear that it had something of a course, mid-course correction, as the NASA folk would call it.
It still passed over, but there wasn't anything to write. Like we got a lot of winds, we got a bit of rain. There wasn't anything really to write home about. Ian was worse.
Yeah, the worst that we had here in Ohio, because it did hit here in central Ohio, was about a 10-block radius of power outage.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it was back up the same day. So.
Yeah. Not like when a certain hurricane went ripping through central-ish Texas a few months ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
like they were saying for Florida and parts of Carolina, like the governor of Florida was doing like a press conference about the power outages and getting power restored. They had 2 million people that were without power, and by the next day, they had 1.9 million restored. In Texas, with Centerpoint, who I firmly lay the blame on, we had around 3 to 4 million power outages, and it was a week before they had even 2 back.
Yeah.
So it took the Florida Power Company overnight to do what it took Centerpoint a week to do. So that was wherein the fault lied. Our hurricane wasn't as bad as theirs.
No,
but
and that's fair. I just
in
wanted to give
Florida's
you
defense
shit.
for why it wasn't as bad for them. What's a lot of rain and a big problem for Florida, or what's not a lot of rain for Florida is an incredible amount of rain for the mountain valleys of
Oh, yeah.
North Carolina and
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Alfarios, we kind of hijacked your speaking
sorry about
moment
that.
there, so let's get back to you. And what else you got for us?
Nothing much. Just did a bit of Helldivers earlier today.
My son, my 10-year-old that we were just talking about before we started, is really wanting me to get it for him, and I'm just like, I am just that short of cash. Sorry, bro.
Whenever you do get it, it's a good buy.
I've seen that. I've never played it myself, either the first one or the second one, but I do recognize the fact that apparently Helldivers 2 was even better than the first, and the first was pretty much a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least that's the gist that I've gotten from various communities that I'm a party to. You got anything else, or shall we move on to Rodan's?
Just a neat tidbit fact. A lot of people who lost their houses down here that wasn't to flood was because they left their electric vehicles in their garage. And salt water and lithium batteries don't play very well together.
I feel like I don't know the chemistry specifically, but I feel like that's going to cause an arc or something.
It causes a hydrogen fire, which can't really be put out unless you get rid of all the hydrogen. It basically lit people's houses burning down.
Oh,
in the middle of a torrential rainstorm.
And that the rain is not doing a damn thing too, because it's the hydrogen that's burning.
It's practically equivalent to a thermite bomb.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, there's a reason why lithium-ion batteries are exceptionally unstable as a chemical composition.
Yeah, I could see
Just
that.
take one look at their location on the periodic table.
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately,
exactly.
I would not be able to figure out what that means, though. I don't know enough about the chemical sciences.
Lithium is on the periodic table as an element. In that column is incredibly unpleasant.
Would it be safe to call
metals?
Is that the unstable column?
I can't remember
if it touches water, it explodes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
There's more than one of those.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If I remember right, phosphorus isn't that far from it.
Phosphorus reacts violently with oxygen.
Air. Yeah, phosphorus is air. It's
Now, that said, there are two parts.
Lithium, sodium.
2/3 of water is oxygen, so actually I think it's a bit more than 2/3 because you have to take into account the actual atomic weight of the 2 oxygen atoms and the hydrogen atom. Nope, I got that backwards. It's 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. Don't listen to me, kids. I am not a chemical person at all. At any rate, sorry. You guys were saying stuff.
Yeah, it's lithium, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. Those are the alkalis.
Mm-hmm.
And the human body needs sodium and potassium. I know that much. Anyway, sorry, Rodance, please.
Yeah, speaking of water. So part of what tore up the mountains so bad is it rained before the hurricane came through. And then the hurricane came through and dumped 20 inches, which on flat land is only 20 inches. You know?
Yeah.
But in the mountains, flat land is 30 feet at the bottom of the valley. Yeah, the 20 inches could be like 10 to 30 feet at the bottom of each valley.
Yeah.
And when almost every single town and village and road is built through the valleys.
Yeah.
Like, we, because I live in North Carolina, and I live well out of the path. but I work for grocery store land, and it's been crazy busy. I literally just sent 40% more routes today just to account for the water that we're sending there.
Oh, the bottled water. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, yeah, Florida is sending a whole bunch of emergency crews and stuff with like temporary bridges and all this other stuff. Because that's still a major impact area where there is basically there's no water, there's no electricity, and there's no roads.
What?
Mm.
Mike check.
Oh, yeah,
Huge swaths of it.
I'm
You know-
sorry to interrupt, but my brother is also in the area of the hurricane, and he lost his house.
That
Oh.
sucks, man. Is he okay
Yeah.
though himself?
The
Otherwise,
basement flooded, and it went up about 10 inches higher.
Jesus Christ.
So everything in the basement was lost,
Yeah.
and his personal computer was lost, but he managed to save his work computers.
I would have wrote them bitches off personally. That's just me though. Don't take my word for it. I'd have been like, "Fuck that! Save my
Yeah.
personal computer, man."
Well,
he didn't
flood
really
water
have a
is
choice.
Yeah,
Am I
no,
coming
I
through?
know, I know.
yeah.
Mike check.
Yes, right. We hear you.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure I messed with my headset. But what astounded me is that the federal government I believe it was today, approved the military to go and help, and there's hundreds of helicopters basically sitting there waiting for the
Oh,
past.
they've been there. That's actually not kind of how it's been rolling. That shit's already been done. I know this because I literally have had people out of my DC that I've been babysitting, literally driving fucking entire trucks worth of water to the military bases for those bitches to fly them over to the disaster area, and that's been ongoing for days.
Mm.
So while they may not have announced the official approval, that's already been going on. I literally could tell you. I'm obviously not name dropping the people who literally drove the trucks, but I can pull up the list of the names of the people who drove the trucks to the military bases to fly the water in. That's one of those That's one of those chunks of awkward information that I know I actually do have. But,
Warner?
um,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I want to get as much as I enjoy the conversation. I do want to get us back on track. Warner, what's new and exciting for you? And since it is something of a recurring theme, what impact, if any, has the hurricane had on you?
The hurricane has had almost no impact on me because I live in Illinois.
Ah, the most you might have gotten was elevated levels of rain, but it's Illinois. It gets rain.
It does get rain. This is true. So what's new and exciting with me?
That is the question.
Friend of mine bought me a legendary mech for MechWarrior Online recently.
Oh,
Just got
ironically,
a
I just
Discord
received the
message
gift
with-
myself.
Hey, here's a redeem code for this mech that I love that you haven't played, and I want to run this thing with you. And like, okay, cool, sweet.
Which legendary mech is it? I wonder if I know it.
It is a spun from whole cloth legend
Ah,
called the Champion Apache.
and which chassis
not
is that? Is
familiar
it
with
the
that.
champion?
The Champion.
Okay.
mhm. And it has a partial wing kit and quirks for rack 5s. Well, quirks for racks, but you would bring the rack 5s because rack 2s suck these days.
Mm.
Oh, did they nerf those?
Well, it kind of goes back and forth between which rack is good and which rack is bad. They've never both been good at the same time.
Hmm.
Which you would think
The-
that basically they are the same thing, except one's slightly larger.
The
That they would
2s
be.
used to be better if you could mass them, and now they're kind of not, even if you can. They've
Mm.
got a little bit better range, but the
Yeah.
5s are much better DPS, so.
You mean my Rotary 2 Locust won't work anymore?
Don't think you could even get a rotary 2 on a Locust without taking and putting in the world's smallest fucking set of gerbils to run it.
Well, considering that I've run a rotary urban mech,
The Urban Mech is a
I'm-
35-ton mech, though.
the
I have a functioning rotary 2 locust, Omar. Don't test me on this.
I listen. This isn't so much that I doubt you or don't believe you. It's just like, wow, is that really physically possible? It's the shock value of a locust
it
running
is
around with a rack
possible,
2.5
it's just
ton of ammo.
not necessarily
it's a whole ton.
good.
Okay.
Peanut butter, my beloved.
Tabletop, the rack 5 or the rack 2 has never been good. It's an ERMG.
Yeah, pretty much.
I suppose it would be better than the AC2 though.
Only in that you have the rotary and the jamming mechanic.
Yeah. Well, at least you can unjam it on
if you
like
use-
UX.
If
Yeah.
you use the rules for the rapid fire MGs, machine guns are better than the rack 2s,
Except for the range.
except for the range.
Yeah. Let's play some Rogue Trader, because I feel like we could definitely have a very lengthy and possibly even heated Battletech related conversation. So let's get back to the game that people might actually want to watch us play.
Did we cover Altorius?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Previously
Just making sure.
on Tithes of Acheron, in search of a lost treasure ship, the Righteous Path, the crew of the Acheron ferry have made their first warp travel and arrived at the Hermitage, encountering a severely damaged pilgrim ship being used as bait by some nasty little pirate raiders. The crew of the Acheron ferry, having already eliminated one enemy ship, have now boarded the second, turning the hunter into the hunted. We are actually on, if I'm not mistaken, turn 4 of our combat. And we are at the very top of that combat, and I believe we have our resident Arc Militant, Reinhardt der Amelugen, or something along those lines. It is your
Yeah,
turn,
for
sir.
sure.
What would you like to do? Which enemy would you like to put a lot of bullets into to attempt to remove them from the table?
You're
Well,
not going to be getting my bonus this round.
Uh-oh.
I apologize.
that's okay. We are still mostly undercover from the Armsman Squad 3, but this flanking squad is a bunch of bastards.
Yes, they are.
So I'm
just
thinking,
just to remind the viewers, our party is in this area. They have dealt with what could otherwise have been called, in the 21st century military parlance, they've already basically dealt with the support by fire crew. Meanwhile, the flanker crew is like, no, we want our cake too, and pressed in super close. Meanwhile, this crew over here is about to become the new support by fire, but that's really not going to work out in a tactical sense. They're going to have to get committed as well.
so
Reinhardt,
anyway,
please.
I'm thinking I'm gonna aim at this guy, and if I blow him up, that's great. If I don't, oh well.
All right. So are you making an
So-
aimed shot? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I am not. I'm going to do semi-automatic fire with my hell gun.
Oh, is it 2-round burst for a semi?
It is a 3-round.
3-round burst. Okay. So for every 2
Give it
degrees of success beyond the initial, you will have an additional hit up to the 3 possible hits. It does give you a plus 10 for semi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
What's the range increment on your
110,
110? So that means at 55 and under.
which this is
Or,
comfortably
I'm
under.
sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, 55 under. You also get another plus 10 for range. So you're sitting at a
Mhm.
plus 20 right now.
Yep.
So please, scream something silly like, get down, I'm shooting them, and then shoot them. I believe you're
Yeah.
sitting at a total. I said plus 20 total?
I'm going to say,
You don't
You
have
know.
to say anything if you don't want to.
fire this way, so that Jeff the Ogren and this guy watch their heads and duck.
Yes, Jeff the chef.
Jeff the
Alright.
chef.
I would like
Alright.
to point something out above the table.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, let me switch
If
this.
we just move towards the exit and take out that squad that's almost taken out, the flankers are just going to be following us.
Meaning if you move up in this vicinity, by killing
Yeah.
these guys. I mean, they will. I mean, it's really up to
Yeah,
you
but
guys how you
that's
want
only
to
to
handle
these guys
it.
over here, though. I don't want to have.
Yeah, I'm not
Staying
worried
in a
about those
spot where
guys.
we have a certain amount of cover is part of my concern.
Yeah,
So
we
anyway.
just move up to the next set of boxes.
Well, you're welcome to do that. I am taking shots at these guys.
Okay, before we go any further,
I'm not splitting the party.
Okay.
okay, that's fine. Before we go any further, I wasn't actually going to say that. I was going to say let's assign which two guardsmen are actually.
Oh, yes.
We can do that once it's the guardsman's turn, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I have to roll a 94 or lower to hit this guy.
Jesus fucking Christ. Wait, you literally have a 74 for ballistic?
No. I have a 64 ballistic with a weapons master for basic weapons, which puts it up to 74
Uh-huh. And then plus 10
And-
for the range, plus 10 for the semi.
for the semi. Oh, and
Jesus.
plus 10 for my motion thing.
Your
So
scopey
no,
dealy.
104.
Okay, don't roll 00. That's really the only way you can
Correct.
fuck this up.
Whee! Hey,
50.
look, that's
So
not.
5 degrees of success, so you'll get all 3 hits, I think.
All right.
Because you get your initial hit. Well, no, it's your initial hit for success, plus
Yes.
1 for every degree of success, up to the max level of...
Every 2 degrees.
That's what I
One
meant.
for every 2 degrees of success. So yes, at 4 degrees of success, I'm hitting all 3.
Yep, there you go. So yeah, all 3
So
shots.
anyway.
Now, you have the choice of dumping all 3 onto him, or anybody within 2 inches. And this guy... Oh, nope, I guess he's going to take all of them, because I'm getting 2.5 inches from one dude to the next.
All right. Well, anyway,
Sorry.
so it's 1d10 plus 6 damage, pen 7.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll my 1d10
I'm getting
first.
1.9.
Hmm?
I'm getting 1.9. Why?
Different
Are you
Difference between
on
from the center of the
metric?
base
It's
and
not
the edge of the
in-
base.
Hold on, I gotta fix my
Yeah.
ruler.
All right. So I'm gonna get
What was your
this
10?
7.
Yeah, that negates his armor completely.
So that's 7 plus 6 is
13.
13
Okay.
damage, pen 7.
So that's 13. He has a toughness of 4, so he actually takes 9 points of damage on the first blast. That will take
And
him...
then that is a full 10.
Mm-hmm. Plus
Is that
what?
Emperor's Wrath?
That's a great question. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it is. I just want to verify. It's in the core rule book, and that's going to be under...
Oh my.
It's going to be under... Game rules, I believe? Is that where combat is? Combat circumstances. Damage. 250. Critical damage. Fatigue. I don't feel like this is the right area. Hold on. I don't feel like that's the right part of the book.
I'm just going to go to the index and look up Emperor's Wrath.
Yes. If you give me a page number before I figure it out, please let me know.
Okay.
Is it possible that I'm getting the wrong books confused? I really do recall seeing the section about Emperor's Wrath. Combat overview 235. Surprise, roll initiative.
Wrath of the Righteous, page 108.
108. I don't know why my
So it's going to be
computer's...
109
Oh, I know it.
in PDF or 107.
Give me 1 second. I need to get rid of a couple of programs on my computer that don't need to be on right now. That's why I'm losing.
No, Wrath of the Righteous is a different thing. Never mind.
It is Emperor's Wrath. That's what it's called.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember where I seen it in the book.
I'm going to guess in damage.
Right, and that's going to be the 250 range of pages. Page numbers, I should say.
Playing the game. Damage.
Because I remember... Huh?
I'm looking at the combat section to see if there's a reference to it.
Combat
It's got like a... I'm pretty
circumstances.
sure there's a... one of those like inset sidebar type deals. I could have sworn. I remember seeing it in the book. The attack, apply modifiers. Attacker makes a test. Attacker determines hit location. Oh, there it is. Righteous Fury, PDF 246.
Righteous Fury.
When rolling damage after a successful attack, if any die rolled results in a natural 10, there is a chance the Emperor's favor is with the attacker. This also includes a result of 10 when rolling 1d5 for damage. This calls for a second attack roll that is identical, all modifiers included, to the original attack. If the second attack hits, the attacker may make an additional damage roll and add to the damage total. Now, basically, you just need to roll another D100 and not roll a 100. And now
Hey,
you
look,
can...
not a 100.
Yep, and now you roll another D10 for additional damage. And then we
Okay.
basically... Let me double check
he
this, though.
takes
Hold on,
16 pen 7 for this one.
Hold on 1 second. I want to double check something, just in case you were to continue rolling 10s.
Okay.
If the additional damage roll also results in a nat 10, the Emperor has indeed smiled upon the attacker, and the attacker may make yet another damage roll and add it to the damage total.
That's hilarious.
So basically, you would just keep rolling D10
It
until you
could
stop
keep
rolling
exploding.
10s. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which,
Roll another 10. I believe we're up to 20 now.
so it's 26 so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 27.
Do me a favor, and what is the Hellgun is an energy weapon, yeah?
Yes.
Anybody remember what page the combat crits are, or critical hits are by chance? Oh, I'm looking right at it. Energy body. Give me a 1d10, just a flat 1d10, and let's see how I'm going to describe
1d10.
him being eviscerated by 21
Alright.
damage.
Looks like a 9.
Yeah, he's fucked. Yeah. So your first burst hits him right in the body. And he takes a good chunk, right? It definitely hits him. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It hits in the chest, and it definitely staggers him. It's obvious. But that second one, it's just like... I don't know if you managed to get the second bullet. I know it's not a bullet, but the second shot to hit almost the exact same spot. And all of a sudden, he is completely encased in fire. His whole body just erupts into this hideous red, blue, white flames. And his skin melts, his eyes pop, and he falls to the ground. And when the fires finally calm down a few seconds later, he is just immolated. It's nothing but a bunch of charred ash. Congratulations.
Well, clearly the Big E didn't like him.
No, the Big E did not. Not even a little bit. Unfortunately, the second trooper there
Is not close
is
enough
not
to
close
get a hit.
enough. So the third shot
Such
is
is occasionally life.
yeah, indeed. However, you have removed one portion of the enemy's firepower. Is there anything else you want to do? You can't really. Excuse me. I don't think you really
Nope.
can do anything else.
I can't.
All right. In that case, Jace, our resident.
Yeah.
Oh nope! I almost said Mechanicus. Our resident Voidmaster. What would you like to do, sir?
I will be firing at one of these people in squad 3.
Alrighty.
The one that already has 13 wound.
Let's see. That'd be this guy. Alrighty. Go ahead and let's talk modifiers. Are you aiming? Are you bursting? What are you doing?
I am bursting with a hell pistol.
Okay. What's the range range bracket? 35?
35.
Okay, so no modifiers for range. But you do get the +10 for the semi-automatic burst.
Uh-huh.
So that should be just your ballistic skill +10, unless the rogue trader is giving you another +10. But I don't know what he's doing with his planned do it better roll or whatever.
What were you planning on using your +10 for, Rev?
I was planning on giving the other person with a hell gun a full not a hell pistol. Sorry, I was planning on giving Alterios the bonus to his shooting.
Okay.
Since he has the other
hell rifle.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
so I'm at 55 so far.
Okay. Yeah. Make your. Oh really? Stop trying to get cheap viewers to be bought here. We don't do that shit here. Get out of here.
I can be bought.
Yes, we know you can. That's scum. Yes, that's right. I just called the leader of Clan Wolf International Desgra Scum. I can't even say it the second time, right? My mouth didn't want to work right.
I'll allow it. Let's duel after this.
You keep using contractions, I will be forced to challenge you for your position.
Ooh.
Anyways, I heard a 55. Is that what we're looking at? I just used a contraction
Yeah,
too.
I'm debating fate points.
Actually, Omar, using contractions towards someone was a sign of disrespect. So I
can get away with it. Got it.
continue to use
Oh,
I'll when
no.
telling you I'll duel you later.
I'll take a super heavy. Jace, are you making a roll?
I am not going to use any fate points.
Okay.
But the burst is on 2. It's got a burst rating of 2.
Okay. So that just means you get up to a total of 2 hits.
Right.
That is 1 degree of success. So unfortunately, it's only enough for 1 hit. However, that is, I believe, 1d10 plus 6, 7 pen.
It's +4, 7 pen.
+4. Okay. Go ahead and make your 1d10 plus 4 roll, because this guy's armor is going to be negated completely. That's going to be 11 points of damage, minus the 4 in his toughness. That's going to be 7 points of damage. Okay. He is not looking good, as that wave of not quite plasma washes over his torso and just ruins his armor. And as it turns out, in a not so ironic way, the lower portion of his pants.
When you say ruins his armor, does it actually
No,
tear up his
not
armor?
mechanically. He still has his armor bonus. Calm down.
Darn.
Since he was just shot at, it is these two knuckleheads' turn now. Since he was just shot at, he is going to shoot back at the same person that blasted him. He has the auto pistol with
I am behind cover.
Yep, you'll have that advantage or whatever the hell. He has 30 meters. He's only 21. He's just gonna. You know what? He is also going to full auto it. Apparently, pistol.
Not semi-auto, full auto.
Apparently, the auto pistol only has full auto or single shot, so he's gonna full auto it.
Okay.
And just to see who's close to you, this guy may get some additional rounds too. Let's see. Let's see. Full auto. Full auto. Double check. I want to say full auto is +20, isn't it?
I believe so.
Full auto with a +20. Okay. But on a 94 plus, it jams. Or something like that. Okay, so weapon or ballistic is 35, so he's also rolling a 55.
Rigged dice.
That is 3 total hits. Let's see what we got. He's got man-stopper rounds, so that'll be pen 3.
You mean 2 total hits?
For full auto, it's hold on.
Per one.
Nope, you're right. It is. Well, it's 3 total hits because the initial +1 for every degree of success on full auto, and there was 2 degrees of success. 30 versus 55.
Yeah.
So
Then
3
I
total
could have
hits.
gotten 2 shots hit.
Did have 1, but you needed 1 for every 2 degrees of success on semi.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
On full auto, it's 1 per 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 hits. The first one will be on Jace at pen 3 in the body. I think is 30.
Does
No, I'm
that even
supposed to
make it through
reverse
the
it.
crate?
Stand by. This actually is going to be a headshot because I need to flip that 30 into a 3. First things first. Damn, I forgot the damn damage. It's 1d10 plus 2. 3. Never mind. You don't take any damage. On the first hit, anyway. The box eats more health than you do.
Reload! They hide behind middle boxes.
It's fucking ridiculous. This is the way my life goes. Alright. Second round. Or second whatever. That's gonna be 5 plus 2, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
7, 3 pen. This box is giving you, I believe the big ones give you 6, I think I said.
Yep.
So that's 6 on top of whatever your armor is in the head.
5.
So it's 11. Yeah.
Plus your toughness.
It's fine. He's the 6 ate off all but 1 point of arm or 1 point of damage. His head armor absorbed the rest because this thing is just getting chewed up though. 12. And then this guy is gonna take the third and final round. So it's probably not gonna do any good. No. Never mind.
Shouldn't have brought them hollow points.
Well, he's wearing down the box.
Yes. Yes. And meanwhile,
That's what
you
she
guys
said.
are just eating shards of wood. This second guy is going to advance while the other guy is bursting. So he's going to move. What is his movement? 3, 6, 9, 18. He's actually going to come over here. Now I need one of those little dices. Yeah. Because he currently has the +10, -10 thing. And that's it for that team. Because that's still alive.
That's a bit far for his movement, isn't it?
18.
Wait, the 7 wounds didn't take the guy down when he's already damaged?
He had 13 before he took hits.
Oh.
13 left, not 13.
Yeah, he had 13
Okay.
remaining. And then for as far as this guy, his movement is 3, 6, 9, 18, and he was roughly here at like 17 something is what I came up with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I
Should
was
it be
kind of
369, not 369, 18?
I'm sorry?
I'm just trying to figure out. I thought it was 369, not 369, 18. But anyway.
He has 3, 6, 9, 18. He could charge
It's
9.
3, 6, 9, 18. Half full charge run.
Yep. And now it is the Lord Captain's turn.
Well. Since I'm not shooting directly through the Ogren on my team, I'm going to shoot at the guy who just fired with 6 health left with a burst from my bolt pistol.
Ooh, a bolt pistol burst. I almost said bolt pistol bist. Yeah. Yeah, lots of words at once there. Okay. Full auto or semi? I don't remember off the top of my head what the bolt pistol can do.
It's only got it's either single or semi.
Okay, so that'll be a +10 with 1 extra round per 2 degrees of success. What's the range on it?
30, I believe. It's standard. It's standard range. It's not from last combat. There's no bonuses for half.
Correct. You have to. Yeah, you have to be at half or less than whatever the range stat is, which is 30 or 35. So nothing for that. So yeah, plus 10. Go ahead and make your roll, sir.
Just to confirm my I think my character sheet's gotten messed up.
Weird how he says that every week.
Let's see. But no, it's for some reason it keeps changing my skill points remaining and whatever it I don't know, it reverts them. So plus 10, that'll be a 59.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling against.
Sure. That is a failure. Would you like to fate that?
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that just to deal with the inflating fun.
There you go.
There you go.
3 degrees of success. What's the burst or semi-auto burst?
It's
Max?
2 shot.
Just 2 shots? Okay, yeah. So both of them hit. So,
with Inferno rounds. So do you want to do the agility check
okay,
first?
yeah.
Or
He's
before or after.
He's just dead. He's got 6 wounds left. I'm pretty sure you're gonna kill him.
Yeah, but I haven't rolled for it yet.
Okay. All right. What do I have to roll once he gets hit? I feel like it's agility.
Yeah, agility to see if he gets set on fire.
What is his agility? 35. So I got to roll 35 or less to not catch on fire from the first round. Oh. Yeah, he's on fire. Not that it's going to matter, but I'm going to put a little orange marker next to him.
That's an orange.
It will be in a second. Calm down. Okay.
And I guess now you'd like me to roll for damage?
Yeah, 1d10 plus, what is it?
1d10 plus 5?
Plus 5. And you're going to roll twice and choose the better number. So basically just just roll 2d10 and then we'll choose the higher of the 2 individual dice.
Right, with a 4-pin.
That negates his armor. So 4 plus 4 is 8. With his 4
Plus 5.
toughness.
4
sorry?
plus 5.
Oh, sorry. All right, so 9 minus 4. He takes 5 damage. He is down to a single wound. And you still have your second shot to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That is
So
7 plus 5 is 12. Minus 4 is 8. I think in a manner that takes a little bit longer than the other guy that burned to death, he eventually ends up being a cooked turkey as well.
He also expires.
Yes, he absolutely does die.
He is very late.
No, he was just finally roasted.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
definitely finally roasted.
You didn't ask him any questions. You just grilled him.
Indeed. Resident Psyker Winter, it is your turn, my dear.
Just so we're clear, all of the ones on this side directly north of us are gone now, right?
Except for
Except-
one who scooted up
yeah.
here and is probably going to get fucked up now.
He's
Oh,
close.
you mean this idiot right here?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the closest idiot to us
yes.
as well. I don't know if that makes a difference. to
Cool.
you.
I move over here.
Okay. Do you do a cool combat roll over the top of the box? Or you just go
No,
around?
I go around.
Okay. Oh, ladylike,
She's
very
not
demure.
that cool.
Sorry. Go ahead.
She's very chill.
Very chill.
She does a half action to move because I think that is just 3 inches.
Yeah, I'll work with
whatever.
that. Yeah, that's fine.
And then she takes a single shot at that guy because her ranged weapon is a single shot gun.
Okay.
She has a best craft las pistol.
Nice.
She has not good weapon skill. It's only 33.
It's not weapon skill, it's ballistic skill that we're using.
Oh, sorry.
Weapon skill is for
37.
melee weapons. You're using
37.
What's the range on your last pistol?
30.
30? You are under half, so that will give you plus 10 for range. And you're doing
It's a single shot only. Gun.
Correct. So yeah, you'll have your ballistic skill plus 10 to roll against.
I didn't realize the last pistol was single shot only.
No, she's only
It is.
using single shot because
Well,
she
no,
knows.
I have no option. The stat block for the weapon is single shot only.
Is it really?
At least that's what I thought I wrote down. That's what I wrote down on my sheet, thinking that's what I saw.
Then
So
you
if I'm
double-
wrong
double
about
check
the
the-
rate of fire,
But you have a half move, so you can only do a single shot anyway. But
yeah.
Yeah,
You also-
that's why I wasn't concerned.
What was your ballistic score again?
Oh, that was a miss. I'm using a fate point.
Oh,
The
more-
las
I'll-
pistol
7.
is indeed only a single shot.
oh,
Okay, I just
The
missed.
las gun has semi-auto, but the las pistol is single shot.
Yeah, and I'm a psyker. I have a pistol and a mono sword.
And the Archaeotech las pistol is pretty freaking sweet.
Good luck finding one of those.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh,
So
pretty much.
on a related thought,
Mhm.
when do we get to roll acquisition again?
When you're in port.
Okay.
whenever we're someplace nice.
Okay, cool. I have plans,
I
but that's
bet.
the end of my turn,
Yes.
and I extra missed.
Yeah, you did. Unfortunate, but sometimes that's just the ways it bees. Armsman Squad 9.2. Oh no, just Armsman Squad. So this would be the time that if you want to divvy them up between the group, this is the time to do it. Or they all just go ahead and start flanking.
Okay,
those other
well,
guys.
let's. Omar, do you have some color markers ready so we can keep straight who's is who's in case we move around?
I don't. Just one person roll them and be done with it. There's no need to fiddle with these guys.
Okay, Warner, the squad is yours.
Okay.
Oh, Warner just got 10 new guns. That's all I heard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I appreciate the thought of letting all of us roll, but frankly, figuring out who gets to roll what is going to take longer than just making one person do it and hurry up.
That might be a fair point. All right, Reinhardt.
All right.
Execute the
So-
Armsman. Not execute him, but, do the things.
Yes, the stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. How fast are they again? They got.
I think they're 3, 6, 9, 18 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3. Yeah.
Oh, are you going for melee? What kind of melee weapons do they have?
I don't think I actually gave them melee.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm
Okay.
moving
I was about
them
to ask,
behind
does-
cover. Dang it.
Oh.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So he's taking half move, and he's gonna take. No, he's not. He's going to do the half move and duck and take full cover.
Okay. Is taking full cover an action? I feel like it is.
Let's
Or something.
just check here real quick. I think.
Let's see. Aim, all
might-
out, brace, called, charge, defense, delay, disengage, dodge, feint, focus, full auto, grapple, guarded, jump, knockdown, maneuver, move, multiple, overwatch, parry, ready, reload, run, semi, stand, standard, stun, suppressing, tactics, and use a skill. So there
Okay.
is no legit take cover sort of thing, unless there's like some
Okay.
additional talent trait, etc.
You know what? He's gonna move, and he is going to take a half action aim, so that on his next attack he has a benefit.
Which one is that? The same
That
guy
is
again?
the one I just moved. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him a.
You're gonna give him AOL Instant Messenger?
Yes.
That's funny, actually. I'm gonna give him a green die to mark that he's got that aim. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Who's the green hand? Can the green hand move? Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't trying to be a dick. It's just I couldn't see what I was doing. We're gonna give him a green die, and then we're gonna put the 5 on there because he has the +5 for the next round. All right.
Okay.
Who's next?
This guy is gonna. Yeah.
Is he gonna do basically the same thing?
He's gonna do basically the same thing. He's gonna move.
Which way
Right
is
there.
the first guy facing? Is he facing north? Or is he
They're
facing?
facing. Here, I'll put them to the proper facing after I get them. There we go. Rotate. Wait, no. There we go. That's the.
Because you want them aiming at this guy, correct?
No,
Effectively, or oh, I see.
I
You're
actually
using their weapon to point which way they're
Yeah,
going.
I was looking at that wrong. So left, They're gonna look over this way. There we go. Just like that. Very good.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Okay. This guy is gonna do something similar. How far can he go?
He could do a combat roll over the box with no extra penalty for a half move. In fact, here's what I'll do. He can do a combat roll over the top of the box, end up next to his buddies, but he won't get the +5 aim.
Sounds good.
bonus.
Let's do that.
Okay, but he will be undercover from the
Up and
flanking people.
over he goes. Screw your flankers.
Then I'll just. Oh, you got him. Okay,
Right in the face.
there you go.
All right. And now, these guys are going to tell them to duck, and they're going to try and shoot into Armsman Squad 3 there.
Dingleberry Survivor.
Yes, Dingleberry Survivor indeed. So, Armsman Sergeant first.
Yep, he's got an auto pistol with a range of 30, so that is...
Plenty under.
Yeah, it is under half. So, +10.
And he's going to do the full auto, so that's another +20.
That's +30.
Yes, so he has to roll 65 or lower.
Alrighty.
I don't know if you've thought about this, Warner, but you're shooting into our cover.
He's shooting over the cover at the other dude.
After yelling,
Who's in-
duck.
Yes.
Who is hiding behind our other piece of cover for the 3 men you just moved.
Let's
Mm,
take a look at the angles.
let's see what my straight line...
Ah, he moved him. Dang it. No!
I got it.
Don't move it unless you're one of the people who's supposed to be moving it.
Well, I am one of the people who's supposed to be.
No,
moving.
somebody said, he moved it. And so I was like,
I think that's about close enough to where he was now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, straight line. Let me see if I can get my...
Here's the line.
Yeah. He gets... It just barely clips the edge. So here's what I'll do. Instead of getting the full +6 or whatever armor, it'll be a +4. And then I'll take off a little bit of the damage to what is done to the... actually, I'll take off about half the damage done. That would be done to the box.
Sweet.
Especially since you're
I appreciate
firing
it.
full auto. The box
He's
is
gonna
bound
do
to get
that.
some of it.
So
65, I believe, was the number
65
I was
or
looking for.
under. Yes, at a 15.
So that's
He is
5 degrees of
indeed.
success.
So that's the full
6.
6.
Okay. And that's 1d10 +2, 3 pen. That's going to basically... where is he? Let's see. I believe it's 4 armor. 51 is the body. Oh, the body is 6, so that's going to take out 3. Alright, go ahead and roll your damage for the first round.
Okay.
It'd be minus...
First is not going to do anything.
Nope, first one doesn't do shit. Second one
Doesn't do
Oh my
shit.
god, Reinhardt, I'm getting bad feeling, man.
Third one doesn't do shit.
Fuck me.
Fourth one doesn't do shit. Fifth one. 6
Alright.
plus 2 is 8.
8.
Pen 3.
Alright, so 8 minus 3 minus 4 is 1 point of damage, and that 1 point of damage is eaten by the box.
Okay. No!
I don't know. You know what? That is a only war thing where full auto makes you be pinned. Am I right? I don't actually know.
Well,
wait.
you can do suppressive fire, but that is a different thing.
That's a different thing. That's not just
Yes.
the full auto
Suppressive
fire.
fire doesn't do damage. It just pins people.
Okay, full auto is all about doing damage. Okay, I got you.
Yes.
Gotcha. 1, 2, 3,
And
and that's
that
it for
did
your...
not work. No,
Jesus.
he's got one more. And it's gonna do nothing. Fuck
4,
that.
6, yeah, it just gets chewed up. And I already took some damage off for the box, so yeah.
Yep. So that was annoying.
Yeah, sorry, brother.
And then Armsman Captain, I'm gonna say he doesn't have cover there, right?
I can live with that. Yeah,
Okay.
he's got a
He's gonna do the
half-decent shot
same
there.
thing. full auto 65 or less. I'm going to re-roll that with the fate point for him.
Well, he's not fated.
He's not fated.
Correct.
Warner will give him a fate point, and that's fucked.
Ah!
74 to 74. My rolls.
Reinhardt,
Remember, Rev,
man,
you
I'm
gave
sorry.
me control of the rolls.
Oh, I'm aware.
War-
All right.
Warner, would you like me to start rolling for them?
All right. Armsman here is gonna do half move and aim.
That was not a rhetorical question.
I do have a bit
Oops.
of an objection about how we're handling cover, because I specifically stuck my character on the corner of a box, so he is hugging the corner to dodge fire from either direction. That was a very specific move on his part.
You're good though. Like, even this guy, because the way I'm determining cover is straight line. So like, the straight
Right,
line
but
to
you
get
said
here.
you said if we were within 1 inch.
I did
of-
say 1 inch, didn't I?
Yeah, so I am within 1 inch of this side.
Oh. Well, then, in that case,
That's
Good
why
question.
I'm just saying
They-
that's what I'm going to argue if you try to shoot at me with a flanking force.
I have to go with the precedent, which is the 1
Yep.
inch thing because of the figurines and using 2-dimensional images for boxes
Fair
instead of
enough.
3-dimensional.
if we're doing that, then they would not have even shot at him.
Well, they
One
didn't.
of them would have taken his full turn aiming. The other would have done a suppressive fire on him to pin him.
Okay, which one is doing the suppressive fire? Or would have done
We're gonna say
The one that actually hit.
it? Was that the
we're gonna say
captain?
the sergeant is doing suppressive fire, and
Okay, because with a
Cassian is doing a full action aim.
okay, so let's resolve the suppression first. That is all targets within the kill zone make a -20 pinning test, which is on page 248.
Sorry, Warner. I just like.
No, I get it.
I was very
Willpower.
specific with where I put my character and why, and I'm like, I can't argue one and let the
35.
other
I gotta roll
slide.
against a 15 or be pinned. Pinning rolls are willpower -20, by the way. And that is a failure. So he is pinned.
Excellent.
So we're going to change this to... Actually, no, I'm going to give him a second one. He's also going to have... pink die. And... oops, that doesn't matter.
Pinky pinned.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Let me see if I can do... yes. Got it. Okay. So he's pinned, which means he needs to
Alright.
make, just for the record, or for people that don't know, if you are pinned, you can only take you may only take half actions, and you suffer a -20 penalty to ballistics. If a pinned character is in cover relative to the attacker that pinned him, he may not leave it, except to retreat, provided he can remain in cover while doing so. Basically, he's kind of stuck in place until he kills the sergeant. Or was it the captain? I forget.
Lieutenant. Or no,
It
sergeant.
was the sergeant. The
Okay.
sergeant pinned him. The lieutenant is taking a full action aim.
Okay, so I need to give him not one of those. I need to actually tables. One moment.
A green D10.
Yes, but I gotta shrink it down to the appropriate size, so it's
Shrinky time.
a
Ah!
little small.
But she said.
Right, right.
There he is.
I
That's on
realize
Cassian.
it says 0, but that goes on.
Just put it on the box.
Yeah, there you go.
That way we know it's on Cassian. There you
Okay.
go.
Yep.
Boom. All right. My last two. They are going to full auto into this guy.
Well, don't you have 4 more?
4 more.
You do, because there's one here and here.
Yes, those are 2 more.
And then the other 2 here.
Oh, those guys! I hadn't even seen them.
I thought you were talking about them when you were talking about they're gonna full auto
No.
over everybody
I
else's
was
heads.
talking about these guys. These guys here, 1 and 2, are going to fire at Mr. Hey, I'm stupid and in the open.
He has a. Oh, I forgot to account for that dude that got toasted. I forgot to account that there's a minus. Fuck, what is it? Minus what? For sprinting or running?
20.
Minus 20 ballistics.
Okay, well they're full autoing, so that'll
Cancel
just
out.
cancel out.
Yeah.
So they're rolling at 35 or under, because he's not in half range of their auto pistol, but he is in range. I did check that.
Yeah, I don't think they would be half range, but go ahead. So basically, it's just
Nope,
their ballistic skill.
It's just 35 and under. So the first one, rolling.
Fail.
That'll be a no. And the second one, rolling.
That is
That'll hit.
1 degree of success for 2 total hits.
Two hits.
Yep. And he is in the
Okay.
open.
Hey, there's 7 plus 2, 9, pen 3.
All right. Let's see. Hit location is 82. That's the right leg, so that's 4. That means 1 armor. 9 minus 1 is 8. Minus 4 is 4. Puts him
Okay,
at.
and then the second hit is just 1 less.
Yep, so that'll be 3 points of damage.
4 points, then 3 points.
Put him at 11 wounds. All right.
Not bad for an armsman.
They'll get better.
It's the best the armsman has done all night. All right.
Yeah.
Now, let's see here.
Yeah, those other 2 out on the far right. Well, on my
Yeah.
screen, they're on the far right.
The far 2.
Just a thought, and you've probably already thought this, but like full run to this area.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
We'll have some cover from those boxes
I
right
was
there.
thinking either here or here.
Alright. So they have
If you want to do a
Yeah,
straight line
18.
and it takes you over the
18.
box, I will just take 1
Yep.
inch off.
One box is 17, the other box is 13.
Yeah.
so we can go 1 behind each box.
Yep. And don't worry about any math with movement and
Okay.
turning and all that craziness.
I'm
Gonna
letting you
do
place them.
This guy and this guy. And rotating to be looking at the enemy.
What was the blue die for? Does anybody remember?
That was for
That-
the inspiration thing.
Which
Yep.
gave them what exactly? I don't remember that
A
either.
resistance to being pinned
Nice.
and a morale check, I think.
Okay.
Let me double check something.
Yeah, because you did the Psyker version of a blast.
Not
Not exactly.
Not really.
No, but it was something along those lines.
And it's my understanding it's
they do
persistent.
not have it right now because I did not sustain it.
Okay, so I
Oh.
can actually take those off. Okay.
Yeah, more. Take it off.
Come on, you know you got to pay money for that. Is that all of the armsmen? My math says yes.
Yep.
Second voice of confirmation.
If any of them
Seems
drop
good.
their weapons, are they disarmsmen?
No, they're just puns.
Okay.
Jeff is going to. He's got like a 4 or something, doesn't he? Yeah.
Is Jeff just a run out in the open kind of guy, or is Jeff cognizant of cover?
Jeff is not the most intelligent, or the bravest, so he's going
Jeff
to use
the
the side
chef.
of the. Oops. He's going to use the side of the ship.
Our ship better have more than 1D.
Oh, it's gonna have like. Oops, that one needs to be a 20 as well.
Yeah, add like 4 more and I'll be happy.
I'm just gonna do the 3 for now. Okay.
Okay.
I think we get the idea. He's gonna do a half move, and then he's going to. Let me see what we got here. Single shot. What's the range? I think 40 meters. That is under half, so that's plus 10. Wait, let me double check. Yep, that's under half. So plus 10 for range. Ballistic score is 38. 48. Ugh. I don't believe I gave him any fate points, even though I probably should have. Yeah.
He's a named NPC that you have direct control over who gets his own initiative. He has fate points.
You know what? That's a valid argument. I'm gonna re-roll that, but that'll be
Part
his
of the
only.
ship, part of the crew.
Ooh, 4 degrees of success too. So that's 4 points of damage on top of. Let's see, 2d10 plus 8.
Remind me what weapon you got him so I can.
Naval
one up.
shot cannon.
Why is it plus 8?
Because it's 2d10 plus 4, and he had plus 4 for 4 degrees of success on a single attack thingy.
Oh,
So,
yeah, so shouldn't he be rolling like 2, 4, 6 D10?
no, it's 2d10 plus. Sorry, short-term memory. 2d10 plus 4 for base damage. Plus 4
Yeah.
more for degrees of success. Not because it was just a single shot because he moved. It's not a burst or anything like that.
So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's essentially accounting for. His aim was.
His
or
aim was
random
really
luck
good,
was
more or less.
that more pellets hit.
Yeah. So plus 4, so that's 8. That's 25 points of damage on this guy. 25 with what's his pen? 0 pen. 71 is a leg.
Speaking of shotguns, above table IRL.
Hold on one second, Rev. I'm doing math in my head. Sorry. I can only process so much. I'm like a very slow
So
computer.
mute me.
No, that's all tab. Shut up. 25 minus 4 minus 4. 25 minus 8 is back down to 17 points of damage. This guy is toast. He dies. And Jeff the chef gets a kill. You hear him in an Ogrenish voice go, "Woot!" But it's obviously much deeper than what I can manage.
woot.
yeah. Woot.
Ooh.
Woot. I got one, Lord Cap. I got one.
I got one, Captain.
All right. Oh, that's a bad guy team. Squad 1, which has been slowly picked apart, if that's the one I think it is.
Squad. Oh.
Squad 1. They actually, you know what I'm going to do? They're not in a good place right now in their head. They watched one of their guys get burnt alive. They just watched one of their other guys get blasted. They watched the whole squad get defeated. These 3 are now going to... What's the word I'm looking for here?
Flee, disengage, surrender.
Oh, you know what? I think that's not one of the actions, is it?
Flee, flee, flee for your lives.
I'm pretty sure flee is an action, but I think for the party to disengage from ground combat.
Disengage is breaking off from melee.
I mean, disengage in the general sense.
Yeah, no, I know, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't like about to do something that I should not be able to do. So yeah, they're gonna move. I'm gonna give them the full movement. They're not quite. Actually, they are gonna run. So
With that nice armor, and they're gonna run, cowards.
I didn't mark the distance. Fuck.
They gonna run.
About here. I'm not. That may not be exactly 18 inches, but they've definitely Old ass.
That's about right.
Yeah, I know it's close. I wasn't gonna measure like super specific. Karos, our resident Adeptus Mechanicus representative. Try saying that 10 times fast.
No.
Karos,
Valterius.
did he fall asleep? Is he muted and he doesn't know?
No, he's not muted.
Did he fall
He
asleep?
may be
Did he go AFK?
snoozing. He may be AFK as well. That is a possibility.
Oh, Turios. It did take a bit to get here.
Yeah.
Hey!
Sorry.
There
Hey,
he is.
look.
It's time for your Explorator Adeptus Mechanicus, some other Latin Greeky words, to do something.
To shoot. Or move.
Or both.
I did give you a bonus to Shootson, but I'm not sure that there's that much around left to Shootson.
There's one guy that you could easily maneuver to shoot at. There's a few running that you could take shots at. In fact, since they are fleeing, even though this is not the right color, just gonna do this because I think it's funny.
Oh, and what is the right color, Omar?
Yellow. They're fleeing.
Well, I like it.
Oops, that didn't last. Let's try that again.
I am biting back.
They're
Biting
yellow.
like a bad pun.
No, don't. Just let it go, Rev. Hey, Carlos, what would you like to do?
There's the one guy close who's undercover, and there's the guys running away who aren't.
And I think you've got enough range.
I was
Do you
gonna
have,
say, I
do you
can
have the
actually
hell
reach
gun
up-
or do you have a hell pistol?
He has a hell
It's a
gun.
hell gun.
Oh
I
yeah,
can
you've
actually
got like
reach out and touch those
110 or
guys.
something like that.
So those are at half with a +10.
Oh yeah, 110. It would be plus 10 or under. Yeah. Fuck. Math. Brain.
Yeah, they're just under.
I'm gonna semi-auto burst this guy, and
Okay.
then see if
It's got to be 2 inches. So your best bet really would be to go for one of these two,
Or one of the other two.
or one of these two on over here.
I'll do this guy here.
All right. Ballista skill plus 10 for the semi. You can't aim and semi, so plus 10, and then plus 10 again for range.
And
So plus 20. Oh,
That-
and
plus-
plus 10
plus
from
30.
the rogue trader, so plus 30
Yep.
total.
And then I will spend a fate point to make that
Plus 40.
plus 40. So
Fucking
81
let's
is-
go.
81 is the number I need.
Oh, look at that. You're almost getting close to the arch militant.
Stack them bonuses.
That's how
This
it's-
is the
Did-
way.
did
This
you
is the
remember
way.
Captain's bonus.
Yeah, he's sitting at he's got a total of plus 40 between range, burst, Lord Captain, and fate point. I don't think there's any other way. Oh, and he only gets 1 degree of success on that. Okay. Now, here's the question. You could take this successful but only 1 degree of success and re-roll it for a second fate point, or you can let it stand. Knowing that you have to take the second roll regardless of any other result.
I can't roll worse than 70, can I?
Yes, you can. You can roll you can roll an 82.
Don't jinx yourself.
Why would you say such a thing? I'm
Why
serious,
would
I
you
kind of
say
feel bad.
something so
I know
bold
I
and
didn't
yet
trick
so
you into that.
controversial?
it's still one hit, so it's
It's 8, you were rolling against the 84 though, right?
81.
81?
what?
Shit!
I thought it.
I thought you said
81.
84.
I thought he
Nope.
said 84 as well.
81.
Alright, that's a miss then, my friend. I'm so sorry, Carlos.
You might have misheard me. I said 81 is what I'm going for.
That might have been what I heard.
Ah,
Yeah. I am sorry, dude. I really am.
Nah.
I kind of feel like I may have walked you into that one, but
Watch the next one be 100.
it'll be at 96.
You
Nope.
get another roll.
69. I wasn't far
Nice.
off. Nice.
No, I
by the way.
just rolled to see what I'd get.
All right. That takes us to the last group. They see the other group running, and they're kind of like, and they watch this Hellgun blast come in super close. They're like, yeah, you know what? We're not fucking around. But what does happen is this. Get to. No, I really
Failed to load model.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, which was it?
This guy right here.
I can see it.
I can see it, but it still says failed to
Oh,
load
there we
model.
go.
It's a dudette and really weird getup.
Yeah, he's the one leading all these guys. So these guys, I'm gonna leave them where they are, but you can imagine that after a moment, this guy comes walking in, and he comes traipsing down. He comes down here to this crate, and he pops a leg up on it. Imagine for the moment. Yes, I realize that using this as a battle map, we've definitely crossed an awful lot of ground that wouldn't have happened otherwise, but let's just pretend for the moment that, unless anybody does something outrageously crazy, he's one of these guys strutting down the middle of the room, clapping his hands, as his cohort rings like a semicircle around him, behind him. And he says, well, well, well.
I thought we were still shooting.
If you want to shoot, you can.
I
will
mean,
leave
I'm
the action.
trying to understand how we go from literally active live combat to, oh, this guy just strolls in with a posse.
Well, okay.
It's Reinhardt's shot.
It is Reinhardt's shot. So here's what's gonna happen. Just to, let me, because in my head the transition made perfect sense, but I could see why it didn't, because my brain runs faster than my
Yeah,
mouth.
because we're either in initiative
Mhm.
or we're in story, and I feel like we're still at initiative.
This is
but
kind of
maybe
one
I
of
missed
those
something.
like, how do I want to phrase this? It's kind of like a mid-fight cutscene, because this other group has effectively ran off. They can go something like there. Don't want to move dice. So they're going to kind of do something. They're also fleeing. I'm not going to give them the yellow dice, but let's just assume they are. And that's what ended this round. And then we are back up to Reinhardt officially.
Officially.
Yes, but we do have the mid-fight cutscene moment of the pirate captain's entrance.
Okay.
Now, he is about to... How do I want to say this? In the way of all the good Bond villains, he's about to monologue a little bit. So the option to shoot him is there, or you could listen to what he might have to say.
Reinhardt is mainly a man of action. So, real quick through the bead.
I
Look.
pointed him and I go, I'm the only one who monologues.
Done and done. Well, it's time for the roll.
Yes, it is.
I believe you know what's going down.
Yeah, 104. I don't know if you're bursting or anything like that.
Hold on, let me check.
I was gonna say at that range, you're hell gunning, I assume.
I am hell gunning.
With a plus
Whoops,
10.
That's
You really...
hang it.
It's tab, and then just
Yes.
drag.
There we go. It's this guy.
No, it's the guy with the feathers up closer.
Feathers. This dude.
This guy's the captain.
Oh, holy shnikes, he's well in range.
Now, to be fair, what I should do, and I'm not going to because I've already placed him, he should really only be back here.
No,
But
fine. Put him back there. Take him out of cover.
Okay, all right. Because that is roughly where he would stop, as his
Okay.
posse is attempting to form a semicircle behind him.
That's still within half my range.
Yeah, because you're using your hell gun,
So,
right? 110
yep.
meters or some shit.
So yeah, that's semi-auto. So
Okay.
that's 104 or less.
All right, make a shot. We'll see if this guy gets a chance to run his mouth or not.
At the 22, I don't think he does.
That's 8 degrees of success, meaning you've got
3 shots.
3 shots at 1d10 plus something, 7 pen.
1d10 plus 6, 7 pen.
This guy's fucked.
How do you get +6?
Because I'm arch militant and it's basic, so I get an extra +2.
Ah, okay.
This is going into his left arm, just so you know. But please make your damage rolls, and we'll figure out. Because pretty sure he has no armor left after the penetration shit. Yep, his arms and legs are 4, so no armor. He has a toughness bonus of 4.
So that's 9 plus 6 is 15.
Okay, minus 4 is 11. Oof. All right, your first shot hits him, and it definitely wounds him. And he's like, "No, wait, I wanna."
3 plus 6 is 9, pen 7.
Minus 4 is 5. And his final words are, I want to
And
know.
7 damage.
He's dead. He's dead. You don't even
And
have to figure out the third one. He's
Goodbye.
dead. Yeah. The rest of the crew that is right here, I'm gonna end combat right here, by the way. Because you've already killed the boss. Fuckers. They stop and they drop their weapons and they immediately drop to their knees. And they're like, "Please don't kill us! Please! Please, no!" And let me switch this back over to the Zoom.
They drop their weapons. I am no longer. I mean, I'm still wary of them.
Oh,
but I'm
absolutely.
not going to just gun them down.
They, as soon as you gun down their pirate captain, they all, like, literally, you hear a clattering sound of like a dozen, however many that is, half dozen rifles or auto pistols, rather. And they all immediately are on their knees, their hands are up, and like, "No, please, please don't kill us, please."
So, I kind of peek around the box that I've been taking cover behind, and I snicker and go, "Really? That's it?" I'm kind of commenting to the rest of the group here. Yeah, we are doing a really good job of TPKing poor Omar's NPCs.
Rodance,
That's
did
a
you
joke.
use the words TPK on purpose? Was there a hidden message in there? I feel like there might have been a hidden message in there.
Yes, there was indeed a reference to how you keep trying to murder us in yesterday's game.
No, not last night. I tried to keep you guys alive last night. It was last week that I was trying to kill you, and almost got it.
In the Alien RPG, he has a hit team from another dimension that's exactly our characters from this game come through and try to kill them.
I mean, we're already dealing with alien Xenos, so
the Acheron's fairy comes out of the warp into the alien universe, blasts away at the fucking player's Tambatam, and then disappears back into the warp again, and everybody's like, "The fuck was that?" As their ship just bursts down around them.
Look, I'm pretty. Just so we're clear, I introduced a new character for next week that's literally inspired by some of the people in this game.
That's
Excellent.
amazing. That's
Captain,
amazing.
I'm reading a massive energy signature coming towards us.
Yeah, so back into the here and now and our version of the real world. What is the response from the crew? Jeff is looking at the Lord Captain going, "Well, no, Captain, we could just run them out.
Magos, would you kindly tap into the ship's comm system?
That would be you, Akaros.
Magos? What?
That may not be your official title.
He's referring to Akaros, though, in a very...
Yes.
eccentric sort of way, I guess.
What exactly are you asking?
Your rank could be one of many things, but like Magos, Archmagos is fairly high titles within the Mechanicum. But
Okay.
considering that you're the engine seer of a ship, Magos might be a warranted title.
Engine seer might be a
this
better
ship's
title.
comm system, or
Yeah, he basically wants you to hack into their PA, effectively.
Yes, I would like to speak across their PA.
I'm guessing that'd be a tech use.
That would be a tech use, and it wouldn't be difficult to find some sort of terminal of some sort. So I will just allow a standard challenging tech use roll, please. What is your tech use skill? I know it's intelligence, but what's your
53
All right,
trained?
53. Yeah, 53. Make your almost 50-50 shot. In fact, actually, well, you've already started rolling, so let's see what happens first. 76. Would you like to fate point that?
Yeah, why not? I'm just not rolling today.
No, you're gonna go sit in the corner of the rank bar and fix your dice. I'm sorry.
Did you know you can actually freeze the dice by clicking on them?
Huh. No, didn't work. So after several minutes of working through the problem, Ikaros, you're not able to fix the problem. The machine spirit says something back to you that is rather plithy and also, frankly, just a little bit rude.
This ship doesn't speak normally. I
No,
don't
it
like
does not.
Can we just blow this thing up?
No, please don't do that. Please, Lord Captain. The pirate captain was going to surrender, I think.
I walk up to the closest pirate.
Sure.
And I say, can you activate the ship's comm systems?
I'm just a cook, sir. I think he can, though. And he points to one of his compatriots. And that
Okay.
one's like, me? No, I just move cargo. This guy's got a little bit of a brain. He can push buttons to make the things do things.
I walk up to the second individual, pistol pointed at him, and I say, are you sure he can do it?
Yes, very much so, my lord.
I walk up to the third individual that was pointed at. Can you activate your ship's internal communications?
Yes, sir. If I may stand, I can go to that terminal right there and put you on with the rest of the crew.
Now?
Yes, now I can. If you would let me stand, please,
that
sir.
was not that was a command. Now,
I'm not used to your highborn ways of speaking, sir. I'm sorry. I'm being a little bit of a shit here. Yeah, he gets up and he taps a few buttons, turns a knob, and then hands you what appears to be a tethered loudhailer.
Still addressing the third crewman, I say, and what is the name of this garbage scow?
Ooh, that's a good one because I never gave it a name. I think he says it's Van Kurg's ship. That's I don't think we've ever given it a name, my lord.
A tethered hailer. Is that just a phone?
I was literally picturing, by the way, a loudspeaker like you would see any public address, but it has the wire.
It's the PA system.
Yeah, and that so that you speak into it, it won't broadcast it right there locally, but it would send the signal through the wire. So you can picture either one. Anyway, yeah, he's like, yeah, we never really named this ship. We just called it Van Kurg's ship. You know, the pirate captain that you immolated over there. His name was Xavier Van Kurg.
Okay. I click on the comm. I say, pirate associates of the recently departed Van Kurg, your ship is no longer independent, but is being commandeered as part of the Von Breeze rogue trader fleet. As rogue trader, I have the authority to pardon and bring back into Imperial service whomever I wish, and execute whomever I wish. I assume you know which fate would be preferable to you. I would like all senior crew members who are left remaining alive to report to the bridge. Henceforth, there will be no more enslavement, and if anyone has been pressed ganged, I ask that you report to the mess hall so that we may either liberate you or induct you into Imperial service as is required.
All right. So you want the senior people on the bridge, and you want basically everybody else in the mess areas.
I want any, if there is any individuals of technical expertise, be it another member of the Mechanicum or some other individual who has been press ganged, who would rather not be here, to, or is serving against their will, regular crew notwithstanding, like there's obviously going to be family clans inside the ship. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about like any individuals, the pirates, like, oh, you've got a decent set of skills, come work for us.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a request. Those type of individuals.
So let's start with the bridge first.
Okay.
I realize there is a lot of stuff on the table that you know what? I'm just gonna leave it. I'll figure it out as we go. On the bridge, you have a handful of what appear to be less dirty, less scummy looking, somewhat refined. Obviously not anywhere near your level of refinement, like nobility wise, but definitely a bit more reserved. There's a few, 4 or 5. One of them steps forward and he says, and he takes a knee, with his hands completely visible so that it's obvious that he's not armored or attempting anything threatening. He says, "My lord, the ship is yours, there's no doubt. I have with me my few, we could call them department heads, for lack of a better thing. I don't know if it's really truly appropriate to call them such, but they are the senior members of the ship's staff. I have an individual that was press ganged previously to serve as the closest approximation to the engineer. I have a master pilot, and I have a Voxman, as well as myself, who in naval terms I would be the first officer. I am Jericho, something name I can't think of. Hold on, let me fucking random name generator this one. As if you took Van Kurg away from me.
What's his name?
It's gonna be Jericho. I just need a better
Jericho
name.
something.
Okay.
I just need a better name. Let's see.
Above the table, I walk. As soon as you give him a name, I walk up to him. I say, "Jericho, your service is no longer required." I shoot him and I ask who's third in command.
You asshole.
Hey,
His
hey,
name
hey, I was about
was
to
Jericho
say-
Elias.
I said above the table. I'm not actually going to do that.
His
Hey,
name
hey, hey,
was
I'm a little
Jericho
offended.
Elias, but you know.
Hey, I was gonna say, how many NPCs do we have to kill until we get to the one you're not playing?
Yeah, which one are you gonna leave in charge? The lowest fucking deckhand?
The one who was press ganged.
Yeah, so this is Jericho Elias, who, for lack of a better thing to call him, is the first officer. He has a couple others with him. Notably, the closest thing you'll get to an engineer, a master pilot, and a master of communications.
Hmm.
But he is speaking on their behalf.
Okay.
Pen. I always have a pen over here. Where'd my pen go? What the fuck?
Cat stole it.
If it, not to sound accusatory, but if it wasn't the cat, it was my kid.
You mean, like, my cats just steal things all the time.
My
They
cat
enjoy hiding
loves-
them in random
My cat
places.
loves Q-tips, pencils, and pens.
Straws.
Yeah, anything long and cylindrical. Alright, so Jericho Elias. Or, sorry. Elias Jericho. First officer. Then we have an engineer, or excuse me, engineer. Voidsman, pilot, and a boxman. All right, the floor is yours. What would you like to do?
Well, first officer, is your vessel currently capable of warp travel?
We have a lesser navigator from the Orisia house on board. We can...
Voluntarily?
It is my understanding, yes. I've not been told otherwise. My lord, I must tell you, I believe my former captain was about to either make a deal or surrender to you to join your service or attempt to do so. I don't know his motivations, outside of what he and I discussed in the last 36 hours regarding our plan of action here.
May I ask,
Please.
why did you become pirates in the first place?
We are not quite pirates. A more succinct and accurate word would be mercenaries.
And you attacked pilgrims, why?
It wasn't a plan of action that hold on, I'm trying to think my words here. It was not a course of action that I personally supported, but the Captain Van Kurg did. It was to specifically draw you here. We knew you were coming.
May I take a guess as to who your previous employer was?
I think he has that look on his face like, you may, but I doubt you'll know. Please, yes, because this will be entertaining for me as well.
Well, there is the possibility that that you were hired by a member of the House Fell.
It was not, my lord.
Then please, if you know your employer, disclose it now.
House Hennet. Davros Hennet.
Hennet.
Yes.
Is that do I need to roll a...
No. You have... What you can recall off the top of your head right now is that when your grandfather took over Regius, which is your home world, or your house's capital world, or whatever.
Seat of power.
Yes, thank you. Your seat of power. House Hennet was one of 2 or 3 houses that were pushed out. So short version is this. Your great-grandfather discovered Regius. Your grandfather put down a rebellion on Regius. Your grandfather's efforts to reclaim the city and this planet ended up changing up the order of which houses had the most prominence or prestige or what have you. House Hennet was one of 2 or 3 that fell from grace and left the planet. And have since been not quite a thorn, not quite a competitor.
Okay, so they still have domains at their disposal.
Not so much on the planet. They were defeated in the uprising.
Well, on the planet, yes, but clearly they have other planets that are
They
part
do,
of their domain.
and
They
They do. And while your character... I'm doing the wrong button here. While your character wouldn't necessarily know this specifically, I will show you this briefly. I did tease this map in Discord the other day.
Remind me of his name again. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of other things.
Davros Hannet. I will
Davros.
type it in
No,
TTS chat.
sorry. That's the first officer.
Oh, the first officer is Elias Jericho.
If you can type it on Discord so I can copy it later.
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
Okay. So, First Officer Jericho, I have one other very pertinent question. I'm not sure if a bolt pistol has a hammer to pull back, but if it does, I'm doing it.
We can narratively say it does. I'm also going to switch the map back, by the way. Don't freak out.
I'm performing an action equivalent to cocking a weapon in whatever case the bolt pistol's mechanisms may have.
Yep.
And I'm saying, where did you acquire that xenotech?
Ooh, I almost forgot about that scene. You're talking about the silver sphere that chased you or whatever, right?
Yes.
So he thinks for a moment as though he's trying to put all the details together, not because your GM needs to make up something on the spot. And he says, that was something we acquired a year or two back in a previous contract with a previous employer.
And was that employer
That
alien?
employer was human. We don't work for the Xenos.
The weapon uncocked.
I want you to roll
lower the
scrutiny when you hear him say that.
Oh,
though.
okay.
Can I roll scrutiny as well?
If you have, yes, you can. Scrutiny is a basic skill.
I was gonna say, and for all I care, Winter, do you
I
pick up
also have a
anything from
training.
this? Do you pick up? I mean, like, surely you could pick up some waves of deceit coming off the guy. I don't know if that falls under your purview.
I just give you this look of going, huh? You mean he has facial expressions? We can fix that.
Who rolled that? Oh, that was Darius. You can fake point that if you'd like.
The table got flipped on me, so I lost track of the dice board for a sec.
Yeah, I'm gonna fate point that.
Okay.
I clicked it, but nothing happened.
Which
Probably because we pushed it at the same time.
you guys may have, yeah. That is an 87. So yeah, Darius, as far as you can tell, this
No.
guy's telling the truth. You have no reason
And scrutiny
outside
is
of your
based
normal level of like whether or not you would trust this guy because he's a pirate. He
Hell
seems
no.
to be telling the truth. Rev, are you going to roll scrutiny as well, or?
Yeah. I was just trying to confirm. Is that that's a perception skill? Yeah.
I don't recall off the top of my head without looking at the sheet, but it is a basic skill. So 56. I believe you did not make it.
I'm looking
Cool.
for.
I approach this.
So you said
Jericho.
it's a basic. You said it's a basic skill, but I'm trained in it. So does that mean I get any kind of?
So
bonus?
basic trained is a flat no modifier to the base skill.
Okay. Yeah, my perception. I'm assuming it's off of perception, which is a 36 for me.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
missed
it's
it.
off
Winter, you were
perception.
about to do something though.
Cool. I approach Jericho and cast Delude.
Okay. First off, he almost shits his pants when he realizes there was a full-on sanctioned psyker in his face.
2, he makes an opposed willpower check against me.
Okay. I gotta pull up the captain. So
Well, we roll against each other.
Yeah,
I think.
This model may or may not load for some of y'all. I'm rolling willpower. What did you say?
You're rolling against me.
All right, so I'm just rolling a willpower. Whoever has the most successes wins the challenge. I failed.
So let me check, see if I passed my first one.
That's 1 degree of failure against your successes. So
That's a full extra degree of success.
okay. So what happens to him?
Cool. I have plus 30 to interaction skill checks against him.
Okay. So scrutiny, for instance, would that count?
Yes.
Okay. Make your scrutiny plus 30.
Yeah, so my scrutiny is not trained, so it is a perception at half, which is a 48. So
okay.
23.
24, 54.
Yeah, 24 to 54. Yes, it is a 54. I literally am just doing it to get a better scrutiny roll.
I got you. You.
I disturb the fuck out of him. And
Yeah. He kind of
shudders
starts
and
babbling a
spits
little
out the
bit,
truth.
but the first thing you get, you kind of do not quite a mind probe or anything sort of like that.
No, I literally just get up into his face,
Go ahead.
cast something, freak him out, and make him answer me honestly.
Yeah. So do you ask him if that came, or what? You? I'll do this.
I repeat my Lord Captain's most recent question to this gentleman.
Well, hold on. What was your target number?
54.
50-something.
54. So I will let you ask 3 questions, and you will get full answers from this guy.
So what was Rev? What was the exact wording of your most recent question?
Did you
Where-
work for Xenos or something like that?
Yeah, did you my last question was, did you get this from Xenos?
I asked that word for word first as my first question.
Or did you get, well, I asked, did you get the Xenos weapon from the Xenos?
But you also were asking if he had worked for Xenos. Is that he
Yeah, so
says he has, but not by choice. And you get the impression that it was more of a press gang sort of situation than it was following, even it wasn't even so much following someone else's lead. It was that he was scooped up for a brief time and forced to work for a Xenos. But also it feels like this was like 20 or 30 years ago.
I asked him what the captain had on him to make him obey even if he didn't want to. I'm asking him for his own blackmail dirt, basically.
It wasn't blackmail. It was more that they had
No, it
been...
seems like...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the interpretation that I took from that answer was that at some other point before he was a member of this ship, he had been press ganged into some other duty where he worked for Xenos, but not as a member of this group.
Yeah, I think in fact, because I'm kind
taking a completely different tact based on something I heard earlier.
Yeah, so I think the impression you're going to get is that he, as a young child or man, was scooped and forced to work for Xenos against his will, and somewhere along the way, it was Elias Jericho that freed him, and so he basically palled around with him, and then they became a mercenary of sorts, and that's how they ended up at this point in time together. They've got something like a 20-year history between each other. In fact, at the moment, he's not entirely sure he's dead, although he is assuming that he is dead, since he's the one being talked to.
Probably a fair assumption.
You have one additional question, Winter. You may ask it.
What else do I want to know? What's the word for tech that's not legal?
That is illegal.
Scripted.
Well,
Yes.
I was going to say specifically for
Heretic.
Icarus, it would be heretic.
Yes.
Do you have any prescripted articles or heretic items on the ship?
The only outlandish, possibly illegal, outright heretical technology that we had was that Seeker Destroyer. And you destroyed it.
Well, I
There
stepped
may
back
be
and pat
something
Rev on the
like
shoulder.
I think you also get the impression that maybe there is some stuff that, depending on who's doing that, looking and asking, that maybe there's some contraband aboard, but it's nothing like outright the Emperor will smite you kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and my ability lasts for as long as I sustain it, basically, so I can keep rolling plus 30 scrutinies on this guy.
Okay.
Or technically plus 30 interactions, so any of the interaction class abilities.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to say, Sergeant, arrest this man for consorting with Xenos.
Lord Captain, if I may, I certainly am at your mercy. There is no argument there.
I ignore him and I pick up my radio back to the ship, and unless I have to do that through Winter. Do I have
no, you don't.
connection?
You can establish comms with the Acheron's ferry.
Okay.
Are they like docked next to us?
They're here in this, like, you within a single star system. You can easily comm somebody else.
Oh no, you can't.
Why not?
Have you not looked at what I had to do? Like, remember how I was asking tables of which section are we in near solar? Near solar is light minutes different. You can't just call someone.
Correct. You're right. They are not that far away. So
also, that's a big honking radio. Like, how is Rev carrying that around?
Well, there's a radio right here on
you
this
don't have the
ship.
ship's radio to work
I'm using the radio on the ship and ignoring
Okay.
further.
And you can easily, like, between Rev and Icaros, figure out how to get through the security protocols to... Not security protocols, like code words and passwords and shit like that, to be able to confirm your identity with the Acheron's ferry and your seneschal.
So I'm ignoring whatever his name was, picking up the radio, saying Acheron's ferry. This is your Lord Captain speaking. We have taken command.
And of course, they're going to answer with, they're not going to say this, but they're going to be like, that's very clearly our Lord Captain, because nobody else could sound so smug and arrogant all at once. I'm sorry, Rev. Please, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We have taken control of the vessel, and we are christening it, for now, Obol 1.
Is that OBOL or?
As in the Greek coin.
Yeah, OBOL, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Understood, Lord Captain. Do you need anything from us in support?
Yes, prepare for... While the ship does have its navigator, I'm not entirely sure I trust the crew at this point. So we will be docking in preparation for transit. The command crew is potentially troublesome. Please pick at least a captain and a first off, and this will be, hold on, let me, I've just forgotten the name of Thale.
Marcellus Thale?
Yeah, Thale. Sorry, it took me a second. What is his official rank, other than Seneschal?
Is he your first officer, or is he your Master of Whispers? It's your choice.
Both?
I don't think he can serve effectively as both.
Right. Well,
I feel like, in my opinion, both of those require someone wholly committed to one or the other.
I thought we agreed on
first
Master of
officer.
Whispers.
There was also the question of whether or not he was going to be the high factotum.
Yeah, no, I think first officer was his, because he's currently captaining the ship, so first officer.
Yeah, and he has acted as first officer and captain, etc., in the past. But of course, it's at your pleasure.
Seneschal.
Yes, my Lord Captain.
Please pick a
prize crew.
No, not a prize crew, but simply a command crew of at least 2 rotations, so that they may rest and remain fresh, and send over a few regular squads of armsmen to ensure their safety. And when we dock, we will be bringing a prisoner back on board. Once we are docked, prepare to maneuver towards the derelict pilgrim vessel.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
And we will put Elias Jericho in the brig of our ship. We will begin maneuvering toward the pilgrim vessel, and we will take at least as long as there is enough guardsmen on this ship for the docking, we will take whatever crew or whatever armsmen we think necessary.
You've got like 2,700 armsmen and 27,000.
I meant the ones with us.
Oh, the ones with you.
The ones with us, whatever we think necessary for a boarding and rescue crew. If that be both squads, so be it. But we're going to go check if there is still any sort of sustainable atmosphere, or at least any kind of atmosphere on board the Pilgrim's vessel. We're going to try and dock and attempt any rescue operations.
All right, so are you ready
for winter? For her, is your communication just one way, just to them, or can you pick up messages from their minds as well?
It's back and forth. It's literally
basically
phone call.
It can be back and forth. However, I will remind you, Winter, you did attempt to reach out to the penitent traveler before, and the only thing you got was silence and the taste of blood.
Yeah, but I'm not particularly concerned about that. I'm answering. Well, so,
or did I misunderstand what was being asked specifically?
So I can literally call over to our ship instantaneously or near instantaneously. If he's calling them on a radio, he gets to play the waiting game.
To the Acheron's Ferry? No wait.
Yes.
If it's to the Penitent Traveler, it's a time delay of maybe 20 seconds or some shit like that.
Well,
I'm not
I
going
was
to
more
crunch
asking-
exact
I was
numbers
more
and
So no,
stuff.
I'm literally looking at the chart for my astrotelepathic signals, and if we are roughly in orbit, it's instant communications, and if we are in nearby solar space, it is 1d5 or 1d5 rounds, and anywhere else within the entire solar system is 1d10 rounds.
Give me a
And
second.
if we're in sister solar systems, it's just minutes. Subsectors are hours, full sectors are weeks, and segmentums are 1d5 months.
Yeah. So we're in the, if I recall correctly, did the table just go completely blank for you guys too?
It is.
Yes.
It is bone
Yeah.
blank for me.
Fuck.
Yep.
Stand by.
Rev, which ship were you talking about that we're trying to contact?
The Pilgrim's ship, the derelict that had life signs aboard, as best we could tell, but we weren't able to communicate with.
The Penitent Traveler, Rodance, is a handful or more void units. So we're talking roughly 100,000 kilometers, give or take, away. It's within combat range, based on what I
Yeah.
recall from the map.
So that's effectively
before.
within orbit.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about calling Acheron's Ferry, which is farther away.
Well, the Acheron's Ferry is also in that same rough idea of a range band. Like, you guys were all still in combat.
Well, basically,
ship
what
combat.
I'm envisioning is the two ships are basically rallying and docking,
Yeah.
essentially, while almost kissing the derelict, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shuttle is departing one as the docking maneuver is finishing
Yeah.
to board the derelict. Should we do some kind of precise scan or something to see where it's safe to board? Like, I'm not sure what the proper.
I'm not
procedure would be.
gonna. I won't. We don't need to make any rolls for that. I think we can narrate that a little bit. So you spend some time figuring out scanning the hull, especially once you're closer. You still haven't been able to make contact with anybody, but now that you're significantly closer, you realize that there is some power in some parts of the ship, specifically in the bridge and one or two other various compartments, but nothing terribly large, and it certainly looks as though the ship is basically dead. You find...
What size of ship is this?
I don't have that, so it's probably somewhere vicinity of about the same size
cargo.
as yours, but it's a more cargo passenger
Mm-hmm.
design. It's obviously it would have some weaponry, but it is not at all meant to be a combat ship.
Right.
It would be
But, so a cargo
put
vessel.
off borders and maybe like one set of basic offensive weaponry at the very best.
Is there any kind of markings or insignia on the ship that give us an idea of like what kind of pilgrims or potentially they were, or is it standard Imperial iconography?
Standard Imperial iconography, but also I am not familiar enough with the various ordos to know anything in particular. Like, I know there's the Drusians.
Do they have Drusian markings? Do they have
Let's go with Drusian markings, because that would be the closest one that I can think of that would make sense. So they are somewhere along the way related to the Order of Saint Drusus.
Okay. So yeah, we're docking and with the shuttle and attempting to. Actually, you know what? Let's leave at least one squad of armsmen off the shuttle. I don't know how many people can fit on board the shuttle, but like, if we can tell for sure it's a rescue mission and not any kind of boarding action, then we would want more space.
You'd
to pull
want
more
more
people
room
off.
for yeah, you're definitely not getting any signs of any sort of threat whatsoever, which of course doesn't mean it's safe, but
Right.
there's no posturing, there's no messages, there's no warnings, nothing otherwise. And I think what happens is, as you slowly make your way through wherever you enter the ship from, towards the bridge, the one place that you know you have power, or they have power rather, you find nothing. You can look for all the booby traps and boogeyman that you want, but it's nothing. A lot of void, or a lot of exposure to the void. This ship got hit hard, or they hit something good and juicy and it blew out a fuck ton of damage.
So one question and one note, a little bit that we might be kind of past, but going forward, due to some issues that might have happened, will our armsmen have the flak and las guns that they were supposed to have? Or
What-
are you going to, since you've already established the carapace and auto pistols?
We can retcon it to flak and las rifles if that's what you
Okay.
want.
Well, then what I'm going
But
to
what
ask...
what I'll do is this: we can do flak is better than carapace. Am I right?
No.
No.
Much
Carapace
worse.
is yeah.
Okay,
Carapace is second only to power armor.
got it. So here's what we can do: their current. We'll set a baseline, and then if you want to go for the carapace, which I imagine you would, then we'll start looking at like acquisition rolls once you get to a port call.
Okay. Well, I mean, eventually I would like to get them some better equipment, but that's going to have to be separate acquisition rolls.
Yeah.
I would ask for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that Winter is due a set of carapace armor for our trouble.
I think you can find one off of one of the dead bodies easily, or since you have control of the ship, you could just go to the arms lockers, and grab one of like 4 that are left that don't have any stains or markings on them. Although you will notice that one of them will have a. Give me a second. I gotta think. I had a sigil. I'm trying to remember what it was. Does anybody recall or can easily quickly look up the sigil for House Fell so I don't get the wrong one to you?
It was a rose of some sort, wasn't it? I
believe-
forget.
yes,
which...
it was.
Something
It was
like
a
that.
rose, and then it was a rose with bloody thorns for the ones that were family members. That's right. Okay, so I can't use that. One of them is marked with the sigil of. It's a mountaintop. The help me out here. The ice peak of a mountain.
Ice cap.
Ice cap. Thank you. That is the sigil that you find on one of these sets of armor, and you realize that maybe some of the others might have had it until it had been removed intentionally.
And would I recognize this sigil?
You can make some sort of heraldry recognize roll. I don't recall which skill it would be. I'm sure I know there is one.
I have knowledge of etiquette and high authority. I have peer checks with nobility, and I also have lore knowledge in Imperium and Rogue Trader houses.
Yeah,
So
I feel like there's
all
a
the bonuses in
skill.
all the places.
Yeah, I feel like there's a skill. I could be wrong. Don't act like I've never been wrong before. You know what? Let's call it a common lore. Either common or scholastic lore, something relating to noble houses. Tell me what.
Well, I have pure nobility talent.
Same.
What is pure nobility? That's you have points of contact that you can talk to.
Yeah, that's social interactions.
Yeah.
And knowledge of.
And
like I said, I have common lore for both Imperium and Rogue Trader.
Give me the Rogue Trader one. Although I'm sure the skills are the same. The stat.
What about Imperial Navy? Imperial Navy.
No, that wouldn't work for this one. It's semi-related to Rogue Trader. Or to a Rogue Trader house. Let me put it that way. That does not look like a good number.
Clearly filled.
What about scholastic lore, astromancy?
That'd be more like star charts navigation.
That's like
Okay, I was gonna ask what was that? What's that one cover? It was almost there. No, unfortunately, Rev, unless you re-roll, you're drawing a blank for now. However, there is someone who may know.
The only other one I have is common lore war, which I don't think.
No, because that's gonna be related to war, battle history, and tactical stuff.
So hold on. What are we trying to know?
Hang on, Warner. Darius was still trying to ask something there. Sorry, Darius. What did you say?
What does pure nobility do for me then?
It gives you a peer within the nobility, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Peer nobility means that when you're interacting with nobility with one of your social skills, you get a +10 to your social checks. an interaction.
Oh,
Oh.
you are a peer of the nobility to a certain
Yes.
extent. Okay, I
He's a part of the peerage.
got it. Warner, you are getting ready to say something.
I was gonna say, what exactly is it we're trying to figure out?
This is
Whose house
it's
is
a
yours?
house sigil, the ice caps, effectively.
A snow cap.
It is the most I can give you is that it is a house relating to a rogue trader.
Well, I'm not going to get that.
Yeah.
Rev's our best bet.
Yeah. Anybody else that might have a connection to rogue traders in general.
Now, I know there's a way that you can take still images and transmit them.
Pick thieves.
Can I give Rev a fate point to re-roll that?
No.
Okay.
I have fate points to re-roll it, but I don't know what else we're going to come across with the pilgrim, so I don't want to burn those.
You
just yet.
can take. We'll just arbitrarily shoot that message to whoever you want to shoot it to. There's got to be a way to transmit that.
Yeah. It's a. I'm sending I think it's called Pix, but I'm sending.
It is
essentially having. I'm certain Alturios would have the proper Akaris would have the proper equipment to transmit an image.
He would, or he would be able to figure it out.
So he's just transmitting it to the bridge of the Acheron's ferry with a request for information.
Yep. I'm going to make a base intelligence roll because apparently I don't have anything specific related, but I'm going to give him a +10 because he does have a data slate called His Bible. It takes a few minutes, but he comes back and he says, that image, Lord Captain, is the house sigil of House Hennet.
Could have figured.
So possibly payment rendered in the form of...
Yes, this is the
Sure.
conversation we should probably have when you return to the Acheron's Ferry and we're not otherwise engrossed in piracy and anti-piracy and pilgrim rescue, Lord Captain.
Oh,
Because I'm imagining this conversation is taking place over the radio and not in person.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this
If I
was
may, Lord
just a
Captain?
sidebar in order to get Winter out of Flack and into Carapace,
Yeah, absolutely.
provided she wants Carapace instead of Flack. Rodance?
It makes my armor better.
Yes, it does. I'm just making sure that you want Carapace instead of Flack in case there's some lore reason you wouldn't.
Armor's nice.
Okay. Then you have a shiny set of Carapace based off.
Yep,
how
except
shiny
the
they
the only problem is on the chest, like in the center of the chest plate, it has imagine a mountaintop with two smaller mountains flanking it in the background.
Well, you said some didn't.
This one, okay, so choose one with or without the house insignia.
Obviously, I'm taking one without.
Okay. All right, there you go. You have on yours what looks like there once upon a time was some sort of either a plaque or a patch or something like that sewn on there that has since been removed forcibly.
I would love to see a set of hardened armor that had something sewed onto it.
Oh, I wasn't
if
sure.
I may, Lord Captain.
You
That's on
may.
you, Rev.
Can we interrogate the previously first mate?
He's on the brig of the Acheron's ferry at some point. We're going to the pilgrim ship for now.
Well, there's one thing I would have him be asked immediately, and that is whether or what exactly were their orders.
Were there any of the three questions, or did you burn your three questions, Rohan?
You can make another roll.
I mean, I still have a static +30 as long as I'm maintaining the spell. So.
Well, since we, as far as I'll get Omar's take on this.
Yep. Good.
We're kind of doing things out of order. So the whole getting the armor was something that would have happened on the way to the bridge, I'm assuming.
On the way to the
And-
bridge or on the way
and
back to the
then
Acheron's ferry.
let's assume that Jace raised his. There's
Yeah.
a question I'd like to ask while we're doing the interrogation before
Yeah.
I have him placed in irons and hauled back to our
Yeah,
ship.
so his answer as far as what his orders were is that they knew that there was a new rogue trader in the Van Breeze house coming out of Port Wander. Their mission was to come out this way. They eventually got information that you would be going into the Hermitage. He doesn't disclose it, but there is the impression that psychers were involved. They knew to meet you here, and they knew that in order to get your attention across this star system, they needed something like, oh, hey, look, there's a pilgrimage ship. What a shock. Let's go do some shit and have them set off their survival beacon, and that will draw in, hopefully, the person we're looking for. It was kind of a long shot, and he really does not like this whole plan whatsoever. He would have rather have trailed you from a distance and followed you from here to Footfall, which was obviously anybody would have made a safe guess as to anybody else going from anywhere from here through the maw, the Koronus passage. Sorry, I should say that.
And what about were the psychers sanctioned or not, or were they Xenos?
From his understanding, it was part of what is generally considered to be the astropathic relay system through this part of space, which are constructed of sanctioned psychers. To call it an astropathic relay on this side of the Koronus passage is kind of a misnomer. It's more like anybody that's available to pass a message on from Footfall to any other place in the Expanse is hit or miss. So messages kind of get backed up a bit at Footfall. And maybe...
So, I was assuming that there were psychers who were defining our next move. Were there astropaths that were receiving a... Do we have a telepathic mole on board our ship? Were they receiving some sort of...
I'm going with...
Is that what he's implying?
So, out of character, what I'm going with here is that there was some sort of information was discovered and it was relayed along the astropathic network to these individuals because they had spies on Port Wander. Or they had not so much spies, but like informants, paid people, dock workers.
Somebody knows how to use the post office and phone network.
Yeah,
right.
Basically.
Except for the fact that the only people that knew that we were going to the Hermitage first was the crew when I announced it and we left.
It's entirely possible that... Listen, there's a little bit of GM hand waving here. I'm asking for a little bit of forgiveness. Okay.
Okay.
It's also safe to assume that unless you're incredibly secretive, people are going to know where you're going.
I'm trying to confirm that it's not a story point that we have a mole on board our ship.
It is not intended to be such.
Okay.
If you want to chase it,
then
we can chase it.
Then the next step is he's being hauled off to the Acheron's ferry, and we're on a shuttle headed to rescue the pilgrims if there are any left alive.
There are, as it turns out, once you get to the bridge of the Penitent Traveler. And I'm going to narratively summarize so we can get to the stopping point for the night, because I know Alturios is about to fall asleep again. You eventually make your way through what's left of the hull of the Penitent Traveler. It looks pretty bad. Like, it really, what it boils down to is initially it looked like the pirates shot the ever-loving shit out of it and then finally stopped. But what it was, they shot it a few times, did some superficial damage, did some decent damage, and then all of a sudden hit something really big and juicy. And that's what has rendered this ship more or less salvage and derelict. And when you do finally make it to the Penitent Traveler's Bridge, there are something like 20 or 30 pilgrims and 4 or 5 senior officers on the bridge that give you more or less confirmation that is what happened. That the 2 Wolfpack raiders attacked the Penitent Traveler, which of course couldn't fend them off. They made a couple of passes, did minimal damage, made another pass, and all of a sudden that's when their plasma drives were absolutely shot. There was some backlash through the ship. Like one of the fuel tanks ruptured. Like basically, they had a slew of critical hits that fucked them up.
Yes.
The surviving count is in the neighborhood of a couple hundred pilgrims scattered throughout the ship. Some of these groups of pilgrims are sealed off against the void, so it will take some trickery to get them freed up. As well as approximately 100 or so various crew members, including the captain and I'm sorry, not the captain, something like a third officer, and someone in the enlisted side, like the most senior one, is like a chief petty officer that just recently got his chief petty officer sewn on.
Well, we will do what it takes. I know that getting to some of them might be difficult, but we do have a Void Master who has a very specialized Void suit and will allow us to better ascertain the best ways to reach all of the stranded crewmen.
Rev, is that your mic that's throwing static every time you talk?
It might be. Hold on one second.
Because I hear you, but the static is there, and it's a little bit more than I can actually tune out internally.
Is this better?
No, unfortunately. Try again.
How about now?
Better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
If it does get staticky again, just let me know. It's just a matter of a micro short in the headset.
Yep, I got you.
And I can't hear it on my end.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
If you want, we can just assume that you, as a crew, can do whatever you want with this ship. And here are your two options, just to help you out. You can.
May I?
Oh,
Before
please.
you
Go
your
ahead.
one railroad us?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to move all of the
Static
crew.
Sorry.
Better?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to move all of the crew off of the ship.
Uh-huh.
Onto the ferry. Obviously, we don't want to put the pilgrims on the pirate ship. We're going to ask the surviving crew members, and this is the next question for you to answer. We're going to ask the crew and pilgrims what items or cargo of value should be retrieved from the derelict ship.
I think the general impression you get is that at this point,
Were they merely
Were
they merely pilgrims with food, or are there relics or other items or cargo of worth for where they were headed that needs to be retrieved?
The short version is they were the cargo. Not that they were like slaves or whatever, but it was them. They chartered the ship. The pilgrims did. They chartered the ship to go into the Foundling Worlds, and they are actually on their return trip. They don't have any relics or anything like that. They don't have any treasure. All they have is their meager possessions and whatever life support, including basic food that they would need in order to make the trip. The ship's cargo holds itself doesn't carry anything more than basic, sufficient number of supplies for about a year's worth of food and various repair parts, and etc. Mundane shit, super mundane. But basically enough supplies to last for a year for, several thousand crew and a few hundred pilgrims.
So, we're going on. The next question would be: is do they want their two options are to continue with us and eventually end up on my capital world as honored pilgrims, or they can wait on the Hermitage and hope that a ship is willing to carry them elsewhere, or they can be stuck on the Hermitage.
They would actually be okay. The pilgrims themselves would be happy enough to be let off at Footfall, and they will figure it out from there where they go.
Okay.
And they look like they will be incredibly thankful for even that.
Okay. Well, since ships can dock together and be carried through, what sort of facilities are at the Hermitage? Are we talking trading port?
Rev, your headset is really getting.
Rev just got eaten by the microphone.
Yeah, it's like it's being obstinate.
I can't find the sweet spot. Is this better?
It's good for now, yes. Give me just a second. Let me pull up the notes I have for the Hermitage. I don't have a lot of information about the Hermitage specifically, so bear with me for a moment. Excuse me. warp thing.
Is it a trading post?
No,
or is
it's okay. So here's the story. Um,
You indicated that it was a trading, repair, and refueling station the last time that we were talking
yeah,
about.
it's so basically 1,000 years or so ago, a tiny little like, uh, basically a Ministorum pilgrimage sort of thing, dragged the space station Hermitage out into the Halo stars. Once they got the station set up, the pilgrims or what have you, the sect stayed, but for various reasons it's crumbled. So now it's almost more like a meeting point for various factions and entities to come together for quick bits of trade, both of physical property and information. It's not so much as it is a uh what's the word I want to use? Let's see. Rogue traders have long left ciphered messages at the Hermitage for their allies, hidden at prearranged points within the Void Station. Richly decorated central transept is sometimes used as a neutral zone for clandestine trade. The party standing before a bluestone altar, platinum aquila, and perfectly preserved banners depicting the victories of Saint Drusus. The station, it's other than say, Jesus, it's pretty much dead here otherwise. There's not much in the way of like repair facilities, refueling, or
Okay.
anything like that. It's just a station similar to Deep Space Nine without any of the Deep Space Nine stuff going on.
Well,
It's quarks, basically.
while we do have a command crew on board the new vessel,
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only other thing I'd possibly want to do is give a scan over where toward the Xenos weapon was and see if anything is recoverable.
No, it's a still slowly expanding field of debris and junk. There's nothing registering. I will say
Nothing.
that you can spend a day or two here if you like to strip the penitent traveler of anything useful, and that is a very broad-based term. I'm not going to give you any particulars. What that will do is it'll give you plus one profit factor if you strip it. Otherwise, you could just leave it and take the pilgrims to Footfall because you're going there anyways.
Why would I strip it when I can dock with it and carry it through the warp with me?
And what, turn it in at Footfall for reward or something, I imagine?
Why not have it repaired and have it become a cargo ship in the fleet?
That is an option as well. Yes. Yes. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So what it sounds like is everything regarding the penitent traveler is wrapped. Does that sound right to everybody else?
Sounds right.
The pirate threat has been removed. The pirates are defeated. The penitent traveler is claimed as legal salvage, and you're using what remains of the traveler's crew to do what with them? What are you doing with that crew specifically?
They will be left at Footfall, with. I mean, it's still going to be survival rations, but I'm not going to see pilgrims starve within the next few weeks. So they should have a short period of time to sort out what they're going to do. And there is a large Drusian contingent that may take them in on board the
Footfall is a pretty active big port. It's not like once they get there, anybody coming there will be able to figure something out. They're not, dumping anybody at Footfall is not exactly anywhere near sending them into the void and letting them fend for themselves. Like they'll figure it out. The crew, I will say you have the option of taking them on as part of your crew if you like. You don't have to. Releasing them at Footfall so that they can figure out what they're going to do from that point forward. There's probably some sort of parent organization for them as well. The Pilgrims are just happy to be let off at Footfall. They will join their Drusian brothers and figure out how to get back into the Calixus sector with their assistance. And then the pirates. Regarding the pirates, most of the pirate crew, basically most of them want to stay on that ship or otherwise employed by you. There are a few that would like to be let off at Footfall as well, simply because they were impressed and they don't really want to do it anymore. They want to go home. But half the crew is a ship clan family thing. along with a handful that maybe they were impressed, but they're like, you know what, this is better than what I could end up going back to. Because like Catachan, the plants try to eat you, not just the animals. This is far safer.
The crew who was press ganged
Mm-hmm.
would be offered either improved service with potentially better rations at the hands of a non-mercenary rogue trader
Right.
on either this ship or the other, should they wish, as
Right.
there's always openings, or the offer of employment within our sphere should they wish for a better life than where they came from.
Yeah, I think generally across the board you get the majority, let's say 75 to 80% of what remains of the pirate crew. They're all like, yeah, we're on board. We're happy to stay right here on this ship and help you get it to wherever you're going. And when they say that, they're like they're like literally like, no, we are part of your crew now. We don't give a shit. Wherever you want to send the ship, we'll take it there.
I was more referring to the press gang.
Yeah. Well, this includes them. Like a lot of the press gang, there's a few that want to go home, right? Because there always is. But some of them are like, I don't want to go back to Catachan. I don't want to go back to Krieg, I think is the actual name. Am I crazy?
Well,
or, you get the idea. Like ultimately, some of them are just like, I don't want to go back home.
Deep lore cut. There's not going to be anybody from Krieg that's not already brainwashed into.
Dude, that's actually quite right. But you get the idea. Like there's a handful that just don't want to go back home because even being a pirate shithead in space is better than having plants try to eat you.
Well, they're in the legitimate employ of a rogue trader now.
Yes, there's that too. Like, there's a certain safety net involved. It may not be any better than plants trying to eat you, but it's not plants trying to eat you in a very literal sense. So, when we come back next week, we will do our warp jaunt from the Hermitage to Footfall, and whatever happens after that.
And while we're on our warp jump, I don't know what else everyone has in mind, but we do have the issue of the crate that needs to be settled.
I was waiting to see what you were going to say, because if you didn't say the box, I was going to be like, what's in the box? What's in the box?
Mystery box. Wait, what?
Well, just so what I do doesn't surprise you, since I seem to have a habit of that.
No, never. Nobody ever surprises me. I'm too jaded.
I'm going. My plan is to have Alturios and the other technically proficient crew disassemble the lock and hinges.
Mm-hmm.
Remove the make sure there's no sort of booby trap or essentially, oh no, the box has been opened by unauthorized hands. Burn the contents. Any booby traps will be disabled during the disassembly. A careful, methodical sort of thing. Contents are removed, placed in another secure chest after being inspected. Something of approximately the same weight and size we placed inside of the other box, and then we are dropping it from the tallest cargo gantry in one of our cargo holds.
Okay. All right.
Because should everything go according to plan, we're presenting the new crate to the new owner and the old crate as well, and saying we engaged pirates. It fell from it was damaged. The cargo hold was damaged during the fight. It fell, and we kindly put it in a nice, secure new box when the contents were not damaged during the fight, in order to mask the fact that we absolutely botched the lock on it.
Yeah.
That is some Rogue Trader bullshit right there. Go ahead, everybody,
excellent.
take 300 experience points for tonight's episode.
Woo!
You get 200 for the session, 50 for completing the pirate issue, and 50 for completing Hermitage in general.
So what is our current...
Before we complete Hermitage, can we get an acquisition roll?
No, unfortunately.
Hermitage is an abandoned station. That's what I was...
it's more of a derelict.
I was being sneaky with my asking what Hermitage had available.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't have much in the way of port activities unless you just want to go hang out in the bar.
We're acquiring things off the pirate ship. Let us do our thing, Omar. No. I would like to confirm, since for some reason part of my PDF seems to keep resetting even when I save it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is between the XP that we have to spend and the XP that we've spent? What is our current total XP?
We are now in the next rank.
We should
As
be
far as I
7150,
know,
I think.
we are at 7,150 total.
Okay, so I am off by about 150.
I have 6,500 spent and 652 spend.
I'll double check and make sure that I haven't spent something I shouldn't have and my numbers are just off. But you said 6,100 or 6,150?
7,150.
7,150 total.
Okay, so
That's my math. If other people have different amounts, maybe I botched something.
No, you should be right. I have 2150 to spend and 5,000 spent.
And then I think Darius is just a little bit behind that because he missed the first session or something like that.
Yeah, I'm 100 off from being ranked 2. Can I have an extra 100?
Fuck it. Take an extra 100 so you can be caught up with everybody. Fuck it. But don't ask me for anything again for like at least 2 weeks. You're not getting it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be asking you for acquisition rolls.
Well, that's part of the game. Like, don't be like, can I get an extra? No, you don't get extra. You are extra.
Okay.
me, I'm extra.
No, Rev. You are extraneous.
Oh.
Oh, I just hit
no.
rank 2.
Yeah, everybody should be hitting rank
Yep.
2, it sounds like.
We
Because
have
everybody.
to spend your experience first before you can
Well,
get
yeah,
there.
yeah, you have to spend it in order to actually be rank 2. Is there
And
any benefit to
oh, but
rank
I
2 other
shall.
than having new skills to choose? Like, do you get extra
No.
health or anything? I don't think so.
It's the access to the new level up stuff.
Right, which potentially is more powerful, helpful, etc.
Yeah.
I think the plus 10 start coming into play.
Yeah, a lot of them do if you haven't already gotten them. Or a few of them, I should say. The plus 10s or the trained or what have you. Let's do some feedback sort of stuff. And let's start with Warner. Warner, you usually have some good feedback stuff. What do you got for me tonight?
I appreciated that the combat was streamlined. Everybody kind of knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So it went nicely. I liked that you rolled with us just blowing away the captain. I know that you were trying to get him to not get blown away, but that wasn't happening, and you rolled with it, and that was good.
Yeah, and now Elias Jericho is now the new not captain.
Don't worry, he'll be
I'm sure he'll be
turned into-
excommunicated out in airlock very soon anyway. So.
I was gonna say he's probably gonna get turned into another servitor, knowing the screw.
Do you have a servitor name already picked out?
Not yet, but
Actually, above the table, and this can count as my feedback, the
Sure.
rogue trader plans on having him in irons, trailed behind him when he gets to his home planet, as a pirate, a traitor to the Empire, and a consorter with Xenos.
Sure. That
As
actually,
part of- as
that
part
would
of
be.
his-
You know what's going to happen? So, just for a point of clarity, you're going to have to string him up in irons beyond the ship or behind the ship once you enter the system from warp. Because if you leave him in the warp, he's just going to be, nibbled on by the warp version of piranhas and shit.
Warp
Right? No, you
piranhas.
misunderstand. Parade. So
Oh, you're going to
ro-
actually
a
keep.
ro-
Go ahead.
he's staying with us until we get to the planet, and then when I am on my Pelican or whatever,
Yeah.
particularly ostentatious vehicle, as part of a parade in my triumphal entry for my
get-
crowning,
I'm going to give you the Pope Mobile.
Yes.
he will be in traditional triumph style. He
Uh-huh.
will be being dragged behind the parade,
Yeah.
in chains as one of my accomplishments.
One of your conquerors. The spoils.
One of my conquests.
Yeah. Warner, you got anything else before we move on?
No, I don't think I do. Just enjoyed the combat. Things were much quicker. Oh, the ability to retcon things because of the rule on cover. That was also good. When
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this was the last thing you said.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
definitely
let's do
try
the
to.
last thing you said. Let's be consistent.
No, absolutely. I agree with consistency because one, Rev has called me out on inconsistency before. To be fair, I probably was inconsistent and didn't mean to be, but I was. And I'm kind of being facetious when I say that, but also
You're
like in
consistently
truth.
inconsistent.
Well, in truth, I want to be consistent. I make mistakes. If I do, I try to fix it where I can. Because that's at the end of the day, I'm trying to have just as much fun as you guys are, but I'm not trying to screw you guys over either. That's for the alien game. I'm trying to screw them over.
Well,
That's a total joke, by the way.
if it had been an inconsistency that hadn't affected one of my decisions from the previous game and where my placement was now,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have been like, you said this last game, but I couldn't, if I got shot at, I couldn't argue, no, I'm within 1 inch of this side, so that counts as cover for me too.
Yeah, no. I definitely saw. Fuck.
But
I'll
when
be
you
right
said-
back. Guys, I gotta go AFK. I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, when he first said 1 inch of cover counts, I'm like, I'm putting myself on the corner, so I'm covered this way and that. My character's hugging the corner and ducking whichever way he needs to.
I didn't realize that was the case. That's why I moved the guys. It's like, it doesn't make sense, visually that they're still in cover. And so I was like, yeah, let's make them not there.
Well, one of them wasn't within 1 inch of either side. It would, he was further than that. So, but I was right at the corner and could make the argument that I was hugging the corner and ducking whichever way I needed to, depending on where I was getting shot from.
Duck
and cover.
I really was kind of hoping he would take a shot at me at some point because the shield.
So I'm over here picking my rite of sanctioning. So I get to pick something off the psychic phenomena table as my default option.
Nice.
Nice.
So I can literally replace any role except Perils of the Warp with my default option. There's a lot of things on here that are entertaining.
Yes. Yes, there are.
So for example, tech scorn. The machine spirits reject your unnatural ways. All unworded tech devices with 5D 10 meters malfunction momentarily, and all ranged weapons jam. Whilst characters with cybernetic implants must pass a routine toughness test or suffer 1d5 damage.
Please don't do that near my character.
All right, my friends, I am going to drop a big bomb, so I need you to be patient with me, please. My cat literally just had a seizure right next to my son, so I'm going to end the stream. Everything's fine. Everybody's okay. But I do need to go and deconflict things.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Okay.
apologies. And you guys enjoy the best of your evening as best you
Prayers
can.
for your son and your cat.
Yes, thank you. Again, I want to be clear. We are all good. We just have to do all the post stuff now. So
yeah, all right. Take it easy, Omar.
You guys have a wonderful evening. I apologize. I know that's kind of a bit of a bomb drop, but
no, you're fine.
I do need to get out of here. So you guys have a wonderful evening.
Emergencies are emergencies for a reason.
Indeed. So if you need anything from me, ping me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. For my viewers, whether you're watching live or on YouTube, apologies where needed. Normally I have a little bit more to do here, but we'll have to catch you next time. Have a good one,
Does your
friends.
cat like pizza?
Bye.